Our friends here at the Sky 360 here at Taps. Daghan kayong mga nag-squat diya sa atong mga mga corners of Sky 360. Good afternoon, you guys, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us here in our beautiful Sky 360.
Hope you're enjoying your afternoon delight.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the karong buntaga or karong hapuna, I should say, is we're going to look back at the week that was, right? Muna ang atong programa gitawag na to Inato lang ang Semanang Ni-agi. And right now, daghan kayo taganahang hisgutan, but let's start with the top 5 most interesting, most important things that was in the or is in the or was I should say was kay past tense naman was in the headlines for the past week. Starting with you, Bayjaya. Unsa man imong top 5 diya, Bayjaya?
Unsa man pinaka ako nahon ako pinaka top gina ko or
top 5 from number 5 to your number 1.
Okay, let's go for my top 5 or let's say the number 5 nga kung kuan. But kung gusto ka unahon ako number 1 Jiggy Juice. Ako yung hisgutan is about the garbage situation of the city.
Oy, ngano man dugaya na ana nga topic ka sa nganong tan-aw nimo ba nga nganong medyo ni persist man ang nga story. I know nga it has become a kind of not kind of but really a national tragedy ba. In fact, mora mag-declare siguro ang Cebu in a state of calamity.
State of calamity after that sa Binaliw.
So ato nang hisgutan siguro.
Sana is pinaka-top nako. But aside from that, sa tanan top 5 nako, let me go from the 5th one, which what happened to our brother na nako sa mga Skeptron, si Councilor Winston Pipito.
Uy,
nga giklaman ngadto kilid ra pod sa atong City Hall sa Cebu City.
Uy, my goodness.
Sana siya nga ato ang tukion niya.
Wala di ay ni work ang iyang hinapay? Ha?
Kanang hinapay ni kanang hinapay ni Brad, Councilor. That made him win. So karon that also made him kanang kwan get attention as well. Siguro ganahan jud kay motilaw siguro ning ato ang mga taga Cebu City Traffic Office.
Motilaw Motilaw sa iyang hinapay?
Sa iyang unsay gibutang ni Brad Councilor sa iyang buhok.
Ganahan. Dili man mura man na siya why product ba in terms of pomade or gel ba? Ang sekreto siguro ana ni Councilor Pipito
sa tanong
is the shampoo siguro or the conditioner siguro.
Mungutahan na tawa ugo mungutahan na niya.
Muna ang hinapay hapla kayo tanan. Mo gini una nimong ma-notice niya.
Exactly.
So muna nakapadaog niya
Definitely.
Kung magpaupaw na siya di na nakadaog siya.
Muna ayaw gyud patupi Brad. Ayaw gyud.
Kung magbutang-butang na siya og pomade di na sa nakadaog. So paningwa gyud nga imong buhok ma-retain mo nang ang kontra ra gyud ni Pipito besa ni Mr. Pipito. Councilor Pipito I should say with all due respect. Upaw ra gyud. Kung maupaw na siya patay. Palit lang siya guwigdaan siguro.
Ayaw lang Brad. Ay sige paupaw. Follow our advice.
Sige.
All right, so number 5 or number 4 after the 5th one of my top 5 sabot lagi may gisugo kung Jiggy ani nga magkuan ko is the twin disaster aftermath na nahitabo.
What are the twin disasters?
Over the past year 2025 ang nahitabo.
Mga twin disasters
katong nahitabo nga 6.9 up to 7.2 nga magnitude diri sa Cebu nga grabe kay aftershocks and then gisundan pa gyud ni Typhoon Kalmaigi or sakto ba pronounce na or sa atong tawag nga bagyong Tino nga na force gyud ta na magtino na tanin nyo.
What about
because it exposed
nibalik mo na sa headlines sa kanang twin disasters?
Yeah, because part of me I want to talk to you about because I also kind of like see that all the time still na pagyapon mga repercussions na pagyapon yung mga hungihong nang hitabo after the whole about event that happened. May hapon ninyo.
So maybe it's because it was celebrating its anniversary ba? Sakto ba ko?
Not really. Wala pa man. Because
why
it happened just quite recently.
Why is it in the headlines ba?
Still in the headlines because wa pagid mauli ang ato ang like if you go to the north, mga liki-liki pa dito ang dalan, the structures are ruins right now. Mga nagaguba pa.
So recovery was not as swift as we thought it was. Unsa man tanaw nimo? Are we on schedule? Is our recovery delayed? And if so, what are the reasons why? Or are we kaning sa tawag ni advance kay tastanan? Unsa may tanaw nimo?
Sobra ta ka advance advance mag-isip. So I think it's not about all those that you mentioned. It's actually really more about learning from our mistakes here. So whatever we could have done, whatever could have been prepared a little bit more earlier, and what actions could have been really.
So unsa may timetable na to? Are we on schedule? Are we delayed? Are we advanced?
Well, the usual Filipino, we are a little bit more late
Delayed
than
Okay, so
ever.
ato na isgutan.
That's my number 4.
Okay.
And my number 3 is that ipabalon ako is a international situation, or let's say international relations nga. Ang mga inchik nato nga mga bisita, Chinese nationals kay sugod pag January 16, 2026, kuha na. Tourists and business travelers can now enter the Philippines visa-free for up to 14 days.
Wow.
So kana, nindot sana siya nga balita.
Nga unsa may naka-trigger niyan ang anong tagaan man sila og 14-day visa? Unsa may is this a tourism move? Is this unsa man ni siya nganong gitagaan man sila og 14-day visa? Is there what's the story there?
I think definitely tourism gina siya.
Okay.
Ang pinaka-main yun na tourism.
Kaya medyo tagilid man ta sa tourism last year, di ba?
Dagko kay nawa.
Compared to our neighbors, simply
Right, yeah.
because of all of those calamities that you mentioned, the national tragedies, di ba? Katong earthquake, katong bagyo,
Yeah.
and of course earthquakes, especially earthquakes in the third world,
Right.
is a very good deterrent for tourism. Kaya kanang kung third world good, especially for we're not ready to face earthquakes, mahadlok ang mga turista nga moadto sa usa ka lugar kay basig ang mga struktura kaning unstable pa, di ba?
Right, yeah.
Even uban mga 5-star hotels na to murag na natayog man gyud, di ba? So mga turista mahadlok yun, tagaan yun na sila og kaning mura og warning sa mga not just travel agencies but even actual governments will give you a warning kung ganahan mo travel ayo lang diyang lugar kay medyo na apektuhan pa sa earthquake and whatnot, right? So of course that's not an excuse not to have tourists in Cebu, right?
Yeah.
But I think this whole thing, Chinese nationals will get a 14-day visa. I hope dili ni pahimuslan, di ba? Kay medyo controversial ba ning
Hinaot lang. Way mga kulungo po mo apil-apil
controversial ba ni atong mga kaning Chinese nationals, di ba? Kay atong recent kaning controversy sa Bogor, di ba? So I hope dili ni pahimuslan sa mga atong mga tourists because you know we welcome all nationalities, all nations to our beautiful country.
Maogid.
Okay.
Muna sa akong number 2 Jiggy Juice kay ako na lang yung pong gikuyugan sa katong duha ka mga foreign nationals kihapon nga nagpabadlong.
Kinsa man sila, taga-asa man sila, taga-dista man sila.
Usa nga taga Estonia.
Uy.
O ang usa nga taga Russia or Russian. No, katong mga nagpabadlong dito sa I think that was in the National Capital Region. Dito sila na dakpan. Yeah, more to that.
Okay, coming up in a few moments. Ako ang top 5 stories karong adlaw sa niaging semana. Okay, ako number 1 is katong sinulog winners and the lumad nga basak nun. Kato bitaw nga murag ni viral ang ilahang sayo nga akong
bulak nun. I think
basak nun taga basak.
Basakanon basakanon na sila basakanon.
Sorry, pardon me.
Basakanon.
Taga Basak Pardo reclaimed their glory in the sinulog sa Dakbayan.
All right.
Clips of their world-class choreography was shared by tens of thousands of individuals. In fact, akong gi-post po sa ako ang social media, ingon ko mura man AI, okay, grabe kay coordinated ba. So that's a good thing. Ang number 4 of course is the Banalu landfill garbage crisis. We already talked about that. Ang ako number 3 is the kana ako noy mura og government website ang Lapu-Lapu City government. Nga nakadungog mo ko sa akong imuting ubay. Nga na ako noy AI ko no, promo video. Of the government of Lapu-Lapu City,
Mayor
Cindy Chan ato nang hisgutan karon. And of course the great smartphone recovery. There were 154 cell phones that were recovered. Kaning sinulog, grabe kayo ni ang mangawat og cellphone, di ba? Unya naman ay smartphone recovery app ang Apple o ang Android, di ba? So somebody was able to track the location of these 154 cell phones. Unya nasakpan gi-raid sa Leon Kilat Street karong simanaha lang. So naay the great smartphone recovery. And
Nahibalaan yun. Uptan
finally,
yun.
ang akong number one is the viral kid of Tribo Bulaknon.
Kato siya.
Ito si RG Joseph Areha nga became an overnight sensation after his high-energy performance during the Sinulog Grand Prix. So muna ko ang top 5 stories of the week sa
Okay.
atong Semanang
Ni-agi!
So let's start with the number 5. Unsang gito yung number 5 nimo by Jai?
Kato. Kanang bitawng na ato ang Brad Councilor Winston. In fact, ang naghatag yun og kanang paglamdag ni Ani, kaya nga to ang usa ka councilor po sa bayan sa Sugbo, nga si Councilor June Alcover. Kay kuan manggod Jiggy Juice, ang kanang lugar diha sa ato ang City Hall. During Sinulog, mahug nga puno gyud kayong parking. Wala na lugar ka parkingan ang kasagaran sa mga bisita, mga deboto, o guban pa. So ang ato ang mga councilor sa ilahang mga own designated private vehicles diha, naghibaw in town og pa-assign, and for the fact nga kuan ko no sila gimagnuan sila sa ato ang nagulo sa legislative nga ato ang Vice Mayor Tomas Osmeña nga gitagaan sila og lugar nga na sa kilid. Which is katong area pud nga asa kuno to nag-standby kuno daw ang ilahang vehicle. Unya
So giilisdan ang ilahang individual
na nagamit.
assigned parking spaces in favor of who?
I'm not so sure sa kinsay nagamit, basta puno lagi daw puno. So kani ilahang ng vehicle, I don't know pila kabuk ilang mga vehicle gigamit sa iyahang vehicle.
Yeah.
Ang naklaman.
The assumption is, of course,
Yeah.
one councilor, one private or public official, pardon me, one vehicle, di ba? So gigahin man na naman yung mga pangan diya, di ba?
Gigahin nga
So
parking slots.
naon sa mga pagkaunsa ang
Mao na say.
usa sa mga konsehal wala man nakaparking sa iyang parking slot. Nga.
Siguro kanang ni-giveaway siya sa mga deboto or siguro set up nga gibutang sa ilang mga lugar kay kasagaran mo gud ana daghan mo gud mga set up nila nga.
So from what you said, ang ako ang conclusion na niya, kung mo parking ka sa gawas, dakpon ka.
Kung mo parking gyud ka like by the law and ordinance, pitik gyud ka.
Piti ka.
Pero sangan nga
nganong na controversial man ni siya nga, it looks like the right thing to do. Nganong na controversial man ni siya.
Actually, kung imong tan-awon, gibuhat ra man pud sa mga traffic enforcers ang ilang trabaho.
Ilang trabaho, correct.
Oo.
So nganong na controversial man
Pero
siya.
gitagaan sila og specific instructions nga diyan dapita mo park, pero dili kuno daw kanang like biyaan or kanang mga way bitaw nga stopping and so on.
Pwede ra mag-hazard.
Hazard ba?
Oo.
So I think katong mga panahon na siguro caught off guard and mo na kuan yun nila ang ilahang kuan mga sakyanan. So mo na rin nakakause og controversy kay mismo ang ato ang konsihales ang naklaman.
Which is actually a good example, di ba?
Mao.
Kung ano-ano mo ba nga, nobody is above the law. Kung dili ka mo tuman sa balaod, maski konsihal pa ka diya, dakpon
Right.
juga. So that's actually a good example, right?
That's
So
a precedent that would happen.
Yeah. So again, back to my question, why do you think this became controversial?
Controversial siya kay kuno lagi na ay mga mura na din siya kanang specific set of instructions nga during the kaning high traffic nga period kay expected jud kayo nga ang parking situation is very cramped up. And actually this one reveals a lot of need for improvement on our part, di ba? Kay kanang lugar dia Jiggy Juice expected sa jud nga naa nagay mo parking kilid sa daan during that time.
You know, I'm always in City Hall, right? At least in that area, sa Carbon Market, Osahay, or sa Santo Niño, right?
Bitaw.
Lisod na ng parking dia on regular days.
Uy, basta Friday?
No, I'm talking about
even regular
days. Lisod na diha parkingon.
Yeah.
Unya, nakibaw ko nga dili gyud kumuanha diha og Biyernes kay grabe kaayo kalisod ang parking, di ba?
Right, yeah.
Pero kung muanha mangay kog Biyernes gali, di jud ko ka parking, mo hazard ko, di ba?
Di good.
I'm not talking about sinulog month even. I'm just talking about regular months.
Regular days.
Samot na gyud na og sinulog, di ba? Samot na og sinulog. So the fact is nga katong tawhana ang ni dakop o ni clamp ni kaning Councilor Winston Pipito,
right,
in spite of the instructions, I think this is just a case of somebody not following instructions, right?
Mo na say
Sakto ba ko?
ang kinsa may pasabot nimo nga not following instructions say.
Ang police officer
traffic
taga-traffic
enforcers.
nga nag-clamp nga gisultian man ka sila ka nga dili dakpon.
That's where the controversy came in kay gisultihan sila nya wala nila na relay properly. Mo na naron
So miscommunication. So it's actually not a big deal if it's
Sige,
just miscommunication.
Naaday tay kung musingit ko gamay, naatay kanang singit nga balita nga naay ex-convict karon nga bag-o lang napusilan.
Uy.
Nga ni panaw na.
Si kinsa man? Si?
Gikan sa ang pangalan sa biktima nga si Jason Yuson.
Kinsa man ni siya? Murag familiar lagi ni siya.
Jason Yuson nga bag-o lang kuno siya nakabuhi sa prisuhan.
Nakabuhi meaning to say naka-eskapar
na-serve
na siyang termino.
Na-serve siyang termino ba?
Okay.
Onya police said na ang biktima kuno kay niadto sa luyo, giluyo niya gibirahan sa hawak.
Unsa may crime ano niya nganong na-presume ni siya?
Ano siya bago lang rin ako nabasahan gikan sa Sunstar Cebu o kani ayon pa nila kuno diri di gipusil sa sitio Huyong-Huyong Barangay Mambaling. Ganina daw ning mga kadlawon sa alas 2.
Sige. So let's move on to number 4 ni mga nga story.
Ako ang
top 5 stories sa ni Semanang Ni-agi.
Kaning katong mga nagsunod nga duha ka mga katalagman, right? The two big events of the natural disaster. Kato siya,
which are,
para maklaro sa tanan, moog yun to'y natural disaster.
Which is, unsa man ting
linog.
Which particular linog aning unsang buwana?
Katong pagka patak yun sa September 30s gabi. Pagpadong October.
Katong pila to sa Richter scale?
7.2.
7.2. Unsa may ikaduha di ay?
I think so. Di kay ang ikaduha katong si Bagyong Kalme or Typhoon Kalmegi which is Bagyong Tino.
So mo tong twin tragedies. Tragedy. Nibalik man na siya sa headlines. Unsa may context sa story?
Para lang ako wala pa magudta kay klarong closure niya ng dapita. Para lang ako wala na ko na nahisguti but at the same time we were able to witness that, we were able to experience that. We were there and we were also victims ourselves. Ang ngayon natong hisgutan.
So kita diri sa syudad sa Sugbo, even sa Mandaue City, dili kita maka-feel or makakita nga naapay mga nahibilin remnants of the destruction of the earthquake and the typhoon kay we were able to recover relatively speaking faster. But are you saying outside of the cities of the island of Cebu, meaning the main cities Mandaue and Cebu City and Lapu-Lapu City, ang mga munisipyo sa north o sa south, wala pa naka-recover? Is that what you're saying?
Kung mingon lang ka og the way they live, like unsam gid nga to ang pagka-Pinoy, oy grabe man gyud kay ta ka resilient. Bisan pag gibaha gi nakamatya na ta pagka usa ka semana. By the next week, I think people would go back to their normal ways.
Oh yeah,
no?
yeah. But those are people, di ba?
People.
Man na siya.
Pero ang infrastructure ang imong gihisgot nga wa pa man gihapon. So ay mo drive dito. Dagan pa rin naay mga gipang tarong karon. Pero wa pa na mga tarong gyud tanan. And even ang ilahang mga building sa mga munisipyo.
Wala ta naka-recover right away. Unsa man kay cause? Why haven't we recovered from the typhoon and the earthquake as quickly as we would want to? Is it a matter of funds? Wasn't it declared national calamity? What do you call it?
Emergency, national calamity.
National emergency or something like that?
Yeah. Kuan man good.
Nga naman automatic mechanism
funding unta nga mo release. Mo na pangutana diha. That's the reason why ato gining hisgutan as my top as early as this part of the year. We should be finished with this. And we should learn what we need to learn. Makatunan nato unsa gyud ang ngayong katunan. Mo na nga pag adto nako go dito, maguli-uli man ko dito pagka panahon sa bakasyon.
Which is where ang
Christmas
when you north, which is
I
where
go home to Midillion. Which I pass through.
So daghan kay kag malabyan.
Daghan kayo.
So unsa may mga nakita nimo mga struktura kaning Bajaya? What structures remain unfixed because of the earthquake and the typhoon?
Ang mga daan di ka basta-basta kapadayon kay daghan kayo og mga detours. Muliko kas walang ang kana ba mga area nga mo one way ba? Kana, and it's a road hazard.
Until now. Oh my God. Mayong, hold that thought. Maayong hapon o maayong gabi ni mo dia. Josh Carey, shout out, watching from Mandaue. Very good topic. Thank you. Kung nakay ganahan hisgutan, sulti lang mi Josh.
Right.
Og si Anjen Mandangan, taga-asa mo. ako taga Guadalupe, kani ako ang amigo diri taga Mandawi.
Taga-konsolasyon ako ron. Wala ko sa Mandawi.
Taga
O Guadalupe, o basta, bisag-asa, parian, o sa pagkiri.
mga Sugbuanon me, in other words.
Sugbuanon.
Please continue.
Dongdong
Go ahead.
also akong mga barkada, so movers.
Please continue.
Kining, kana, ang mga dan, ang mga liki, di ka patakag pakusog dito, kay patakag pakusog dito,
Okay.
so shot ka staro.
Liki sa ka?
Liki ka, resulta nimo.
Oh.
Yeah,
So asa napita ba? Asa napita nga dan?
this is in the north side after So Good.
So mga dan dito
Actually,
guba
on your way. Yeah.
Guba pa kayo.
Guba nga kanang
Walay site of any reconstruction, any
there is but until now that's the thing ba. There is but until now naagyapon. And then usa is kanang ang ilahang mga munisipyo specifically sa Medellin naa sila ha mga temporary offices dito sa gawas.
So wag gyapon na ayo.
Wa sila pasudla sa sud. Na nga ang ilahang mga munisipyo dili paghihapon cleared siguro or wa nila gi-renovate. And
Ikaw dia Josh ug Anjen or katong
whoever sa inyo nga naminaw.
Atong mga tigpaminaw,
Yeah.
naamoy nakit-an diha ang mga struktura, mga buildings and other infrastructure that have not been fixed that was destroyed because of the typhoon and the earthquake. Maybe you can send us some pictures or maybe you can let us know asa man yung mga lugar nga wala pa naayo. Right? If you guys want to communicate with us, if you want to join the conversation, especially our friends here at Top sa Sky 360, ato lang sa among Facebook page, TMC
105.1.
105.1. You can join our conversation about the week that was sa Semanang Ni-agi with Bajaya and Jiggy Juice. Unsa man imo ang sunod Bajaya nga topic?
Okay, so ang ako ang ikatulo mo na to katong kuan the Chinese nga mga kaliwatan ni Jiggy Juice nga pwede na ta mobalik og sulod here sa ato
what do you mean by pwede
country.
na mobalik dili giban di ayon sa man?
As visa free.
Okay.
Dili na ka labad siguro ang atong situation ba on our way to coming in the country.
So bag-o ra ni siya nga balaod.
I think that was on January 16.
So unsa may
So good.
kaning limitation ni ani, like visa free for how many days is this, and for who is
For 14 days I think. No?
so who is eligible to have a 14-day visa free stay here in the Philippines? Katurang mga Chinese nationals.
Chinese nationals.
Oh.
Yeah.
So actually, if you think about it, usa na sa mga pinakadako nga markets when it comes to tourism,
Yep.
di ba?
Yeah.
In fact, the Philippines was ready for a steady influx of tourists from China.
Right.
Pero because of all of the kaning controversy regarding Chinese nationals katong Pogo, onya the souring of our relationship with China, medyo nadaot ang ato ang steady influx
Relationship
of
also.
Chinese
Right.
tourists from China.
Yeah.
So nahitabo is murag ang ato ang tourism ni dip yun because we were really banking on China for tourism. So this is a welcome development.
It is.
Now we have a 14-day free visa or free entry visa free.
Visa free.
Dili free entry but visa free.
Visa free.
Big difference. Big difference.
Bisig na ganun mo yun. And that one, Jiggy Juice is dili lang only for the Chinese nationals.
Oh.
Other countries were also open, like say, Thailand, Malaysia, and Singaporeans. Kanang mga sila, they are being offered already. Established na sila.
Kaya kung visa good, usa ni sa mga impediments to tourism kay panalitan mo ni apply mo kog visa sa United States, right, which was
Right.
I was approved for 10 years, but my point is mo adto pa kog Manila,
Oo na.
interviewon pa mo, linya pa ka, so that's actually a
Mga
screening.
batasan pa ning mga...
It's actually a screening process, di ba?
Right.
To filter people going into a certain country. Now, when it's visa free, what does that mean? Nga anybody who is a Chinese national or whatever country they're from that is being offered visa free.
Only these countries. Like,
Lagi.
Yeah.
Wala na ipangutana. Unsa man na siya? What does that mean? What are the what's to stop from, let's just say, God forbid, a criminal or somebody who's
of course.
got a bad kaning
No, of course.
unsa may buhaton ani ron kung
Other guidelines still applies except for visa siguro.
okay.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Cambodia also, they have 4-month visa-free pilot program. Right? Yeah. And then Taiwan currently maintains a 14-day same thing.
So bag-o ra ni siya nga balaod gikan sa Pilipinas.
Ang katong sa China specifically,
So mura to.
ibalik.
Katong Cambodia gisgot mo, bago to siya dili.
4-month visa-free program.
Is that new or no?
I don't think this is
Okay,
new.
so China ra. Anyway,
China.
what's the next topic?
Alright. Sa ako ang ikaduha, katong Estonian o ang Russian. Nga nagpabadlong. Kay kani diay ko nung Russian nga si kinsa gani nga naning Russian si Nikita. Babae paminaw pero kuan lalaki diay, no? Nga nag-vlog ko no siya unya nag-present siya nga ni mention siya dito sa iyang vlog nga I'm going to sa niyang isulti I'm going to spread HIV.
Uy,
may iyahang gi-announce ito. Di nakit-an sikop. Mo na nahitabo nasikop na nung ka.
So there is a Russian blogger influencer by the name of Nikita who announced on social media nga mo spread ko na siya HIV. So gihisikop siya.
Sikop siya.
Ang ikaduha unsa may paratang pod.
Ang ikaduha kaning Estonian nga vlogger ang ngalan niya kay si Im Rosipuu.
Okay.
Hello, mayang gabi. Musta man di ako ra?
Okay. In kaso nahibong mo kinsa kastorya ni kaning Bayjaya.
Ay wala ko nagstorya ko ra.
Na ay mga fans niya nga nilabay sa kuan
mga
sa Sky
higala.
360.
Yeah.
Nga ni Wave og High or
right.
ni High back lang pod mi.
Exactly.
So anyway, continue.
So morning nga si Im Rosipuu kaning 34 years old.
Unsa pa pud yung sapod?
Kani si Rosipuu kay nadakpan pud ni sa dinhi sa Negros Oriental dili sa Dumaguete City.
Unsa may gibuhat niya?
Kay nag-violate siya kanang anti-photo and video voyeurism.
Unsa may gibuhat?
In relation to cybercrime prevention. Kaning
pornographic na iyang gibuhat unsa man?
Mo ning giingon nga nang haras daw kuno siya dito, nang haras siya unauthorized nga pag-film, no? Kaning nga nakadimin sa Filipinos.
Unsa may iyang sulti nga demeaning man?
Na siya YouTube channel kuno gitawag og Pro-Life Traveler, no? Hey, wala nga. Ang authorities ko nakakita sa videos niya, naka-include dito nga naay footage gyud nga kuno gigukod niya nangutana siya og mga di maayong mga pangutana og mga batan-on nga mga babae. Di na lang tama ka specifically unsa iyang ipangisgot.
Kanang duha ka mga tawo nga ilang gisikop ba katong usa ka Ruso nga na kuno siya intention to spread HIV niya katong usapod nga murag gidegrade niya, gidemean niya ang mga bata, ang mga tao dito sa Negros Oriental.
Negros Oriental.
So kani siyang pasabot niya ni this marks murag I think this is a landmark kaning event kay pasabot niya ni ang ato ang cyber law na ada ngipon di ay dili day ka makapataka og kaning og sibya lang sa social media nga walay consequences di ba? So kaning Ruso nga nag-ingon siya nga kaning mag-spread siya og HIV. Unsa man ni siya? Gibinuang gipaagi to niya binuang or seryoso to siya kay nakaapan magud aning social media god. And this is not just here in the Philippines. This is all over the world. Ang social media man god rewards financially rage, rewards financially followers, right? Ang ganahan sa social media kung imong lawgan siya og something kaning controversial, tagaan ka og kwarta, right?
Ma-reward pa inong ka.
Ang incentive sa social media is ngilad kayo. So, naturalmente kung musulti kag kaning mag-spread kag HIV, usa na sa pinakangilad nga butang imong masulti. So tagaan hinung ka og kwarta sa social media.
That brings to attention, Jiggy Juice, because right now we're also doing social media, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Nato sa page ito, if you want to follow us, that's Tops Media Center at TMC 105.1 sa Facebook and YouTube. But here's the thing. We are being rewarded in social media kung bahala pagway klaro. Just for as long as maka-create siya following.
Correct. Yeah.
Daghan kayo siya og text, daghan kayo siya og clicks and being shared.
Yeah.
So the point of this being taken nga bahala pag buhay klaro, bahala pag makasakit kag laing tao, makapakaulaw kag laing tao. In fact, makita ka uban harming people already.
Correct.
Bunalan lag kalit, No, even kato, moingon ka nga nakay HIV para tagdun ka. So mahimo na day nga kaning basta makapatagad lang ta, bahala pag makadaot ta sa ubang tao, we make money.
So society, social media especially, is giving the wrong incentives, 'di ba? Kay mo magud ang
inconvenient truth, man.
Kanang mga tao manggod, that includes us.
Yeah.
We only well sometimes, not all the time. We only do things because of punishment and incentives, 'di ba?
Yeah.
'Di ba? Ana mo gina. That's a kind of human condition, 'di ba? Nga ana kita. So karon nga rewardan ang controversy, rewardan ang kaning tagdon ka. So mo grabe na hinuni. This is not the first time, di ba?
No, of course not.
Nga nahitabo, in fact, na bago lang nga nakagawas nga kaning another Russian prisoner nga ni serve na siya sa iya
29 days.
29 no 90 days.
200 plus days,
200,
I think. Yeah.
200 something days.
Yeah.
Nga nakagawas siya tungod po ni sa iyahang mga post po, di ba? So, what kind of world are we living in now, di ba? Nga mo reward man hinuon sa mga ngilad nga mga butang.
And in fact, mo pag yun siya makahatag og daghan followers sa usa ka page.
Correct. Kay nakaingon ko ana mang goodbye by Jaya. Kay kay kung ang Facebook or Facebook na siya, Facebook to siya or TikTok. Anyway, whatever social media platform.
Yeah.
Kung sincero pa sila nga something like that is not going to happen, giban unta to nila right away. I don't know what happened.
Supposedly. Their team should be doing that work.
So the fact is nga naabot sa point nga ang nasod na ang Pilipinas na Philippine government ni intervene kay wala nila na control. Right? Dili ita to may tabo, di ba? So ang atong lesson to be learned there is that social media does not care. They only care about what brings in the views, the follows, and the engagement, right?
Nung sa ka vlogger Jiggy-Juice nga iyahag yung line for the views.
For the views, di ba?
Unfortunately.
So kita sa diri dili man sa ta maingon nga we don't wanna be kaning saying we don't want the views and the listens and all of that.
Of course.
We want you guys
people viewing
to listen to us, but for the right reasons, hopefully. The right reasons, hopefully. Dili sa ngilad nga rason. So ni tanaw ka namo sa among programa na minaw mo namo karong adlaw sa atong Inato lang by Jaya and Jiggy-Juice ang mga topics nga sa niaging semana. Kay nindot among gihisgutan. Kaya gwapo o gwapa mi or whatever the reason is, hopefully for the right reasons, right?
Yep.
So unsa man imong number one topic dia by Jaya? Asa naman ta number 2 na ba ta or number 1 ta?
I mentioned already the number 1, and this also related again from the past two natural calamities.
Okay, which is?
But not a natural calamity. Laruhon ko ni.
Sige, unsa man ni siya nga unsa man ni panghitabo nga number 1 nimo?
This is related to the Smoky Mountain feel of the anak ng Pasig naman kayo type of thing. Na it's all about the dump site, the payatas, the whole environment like that. We are talking about the new Inayawan vibe. This is where you will find it sa Binalio. We call the Binalio landfill.
So imuhang number 1 topic karong adlaw is the Binalio
landfill
tragedy.
The tragedy lang ha.
Which took 36 lives, right? Sakto ba ko or
yeah.
And easily in recent memory, as far as I can remember, wa pa jud ko nakadungog nga inani nga klaseng aksidente diri sa Cebu.
Jud.
I know nga we already researched this, and then sa Smoky Mountain hitabo na ni, sa Payatas hitabo na ni, even more than 36 casualties. Pero sa syudad sa Sugbo, wa pa gid siguro na hitabo.
Wala pa mo pa ni pinakauna nga nahitabo din he.
Unya kaning wa ma jud ko nakaadto na sa, although my daughter iyahang term paper before when she was still in school was actually about that. Pero wa pa jud ko nakakita anang kaning Binalio landfill. By Jaya, describe it to somebody like me. I'm sure there's a lot of listeners out there who do not know what Binalio is. Unsam gid itong Binalio di bay?
Kaning Binalio bay, kuan Jiggy Juice naa ni nahimutang sa upland Cebu part already.
Okay.
Kay north part ni siya and upland na ni siya kay bukid na gini, like literally adto pa lang gini mo bugnaw na lugar. I'm speaking in behalf of where I have an aunt that's there, nagpuyo gyud mismo sa woodland residences. Nga naa gyud tapad anang ilahang gihimo nga landfill. No? So diha ang itsura sa asa nila gibutang ang supposedly landfill na butang naa pa gyud sa ibabaw sa bungtod. Nga knowing landfills and how landfills work, if you want to Google it.
We don't know how landfills work. So explain to us, unsa may nang landfill day by Jaya?
Landfill man good is actually where ato lang ipagamay lang i-simplify na to ba kanang mga residual waste supposedly nga di na mahimuslan ba. Kay kung mayong kag organic waste, naa man ay kabutangan. Organic waste can be used as fertilizers, magamit ni balik, madugta, malata, pwede na nimo magamit, mahimo na nimong lawg sa imuhang example, black soldier fly nga magbuhi kag kaning black soldier fly iyang larva. Iyang larvae mahimo nang iyang feed or lawg. Daghang kag makwartahan na. Aside from fertilizers sa vermi composting, na kay panginabuhi, you actually grow an industry out of it. In the fact of our landfill, and padung ta diya mo balik na ta. But anyway, so supposedly daghan
kanang landfill, can you define to us what a landfill is?
Landfill is where you supposed to be is a structure where you can actually put your residual wastes. Kanang asa padung ng di na mahimuslan ba?
Based on the name itself, it's a piece of land.
Piece of land
that you fill with garbage.
Pero dili bukid nga imong pahakan nya didto ka magbundo og lain. By the looks of it lang daan.
So kanang landfill supposedly, siya ground na siyang ikautan og lawom.
Kautan na nimo.
Ilubong
nimo na sila.
Anong nahimo naman og bukid?
Na bukid sa perti kadagan. Imagine pilay na issue or pilay na himong basura nato sa pagsinulog pa lang daan. Only that week. I think ni-announce na itong mayor nga naabot ko og up to 1,000 tons. Ang na-accumulate na to nga
sagbot.
Basura.
Basura.
So kana palandaan only on that week. And we're talking about sa usa ka tuig ang ato ang ibutang diha and the money that we also spend the city. Lahi na ng storya. Pero I mean kanang maabot na ta diha sa financing. Pero ang point na ko is kanang problema ha. It stems on a lot of things nga unta pwede na to siya tukion pero
na may giingon nila nga kaning there's only two things that are for sure, di ba? Death and taxes, di ba? but let me add to that. Daghan kayong butang is really kaning unstoppable.
Right.
Kana atong kamatayon o kana pong garbage.
Kanang
garbage
ang
ba? Basura.
Ato ang
diba?
footprints.
Atong footprints dili gyud na malikayan. So this is not something that is not that is unpredictable.
Precisely.
This is something that we can actually calculate
obviously
with a certain degree of accuracy.
Exactly.
Diba? Every person, every household has a certain amount of garbage, diba? So I imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a problem that's been waiting to happen.
Muna siya.
Dugay na ni siya.
About to explode.
Nganong wala man gyud naka-warn sa mga niningtungdan about the Binaliw landfill. Why did nobody warn them about it? This is something that's very calculable.
Bojud.
Kanang yuta, pananglitan naaman tay mga instrumento nga mag-measure o unsa kalig-on ang usa ka yuta.
Maugid.
Maka-measure ta pila ka bok garbage pinakatunilada nga garbage malabay kada adlaw. So there's so many facts that we can control.
Right.
Why didn't we act on it?
It's a matter of systems and it's a matter of leaderships.
Okay.
It's a matter of not pointing blame, but it's a matter of being responsible.
Okay.
Because a duty is meant for you if you're holding position of a certain...
Correct.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's a simple thing, man.
Yeah.
People work for you.
Absolutely.
Na yung mga tao gagatrabaho ninyo, may hapon diya, may gabi ninyo diya, mga igsoon.
If you want to join us, please go to TMC.
Go to TMC 105.1 sa Facebook.
Correct.
You can like and subscribe, share.
Go
Ipakita nyo mga hulagway diha ang nasluyong. Yung Bayjaya diha, mga gwapa. Alright, so akong ganahan igo dito, Jiggy Juice, is that actually na-appeal ko aning Solid Waste Management Board pag termino ni prior administration. And as part of the board, I've seen this already. That problem has been there. The information naabot na nas katungdan sa hingtungdan. Kay balo na sila ni ana.
Nganong wa may nabuhat ba?
And the other thing, Jiggy Juice, is sa nahitabo mo tong appeal na ko tong duha ka mga kalamidad nga natural sa para sa kaalam sa tanan.
Yeah. So
natural nga kalamidad yun to.
So
bagyo o Jiggy Juice.
Balik ko sa pangutana nganong wala may naka-act on it.
Kana ba? Balik tuwason ako. Kanang duha ka kalamidad, wa mo gawon-huna nga nagsige nag-uyog ang yuta sa aftershocks nga nagsige. Kapila aftershocks na to? Pilay na record nga aftershocks.
Correct, yeah.
Imagine ilinogod mo uyog na ang yuta.
O lagi, kibaw mi ana.
Unya ang sitwasyon sa landfill nga nagabundo ang bukid o naghimo nagbukid ibabaw sa iyahang facility sa prime waste. I'm mentioning the name already. Pero anyway, wala lang gyud mo na kunana. I'm sorry to say this. Naaman pud mo untay mga dalubhasa nga nagkuyog ninyo sa opisina. They are called engineers. Wala man mo ganoon na. By the way, dili ni siya for the record. It is not a natural disaster. It's a man-made catastrophe.
Unsa may definition din nimo sa natural disaster?
What is natural?
O man-made? Pasabta ko na atong mga kanina. Go ahead.
Para kaalam sa tanan o para malamdagan ang tanan, this is not a natural disaster. Walay kana kung natural katong linog, hagbay na ang tanan na hagba, natural to. This was not because of the linog, but partly na affected na siya along the way. But this is because of inaction. Natural. What is natural? Linog, bagyo, flash flood. Unsa pa imuhang makita nga common natural. Mubuto ang bulkan. Right? These are natural disasters. This is a natural human man-made catastrophe. This is called inaction that has caused this mayhem.
You know, I posted something on social media a few days ago, and I think I should repeat this. Somebody once told me a long time ago, there's nothing, there's no action in the city. Nothing is ever done in the city if number one, nobody complains, or number two, nobody dies, right? So
unfortunately,
unfortunately, right? Monang akong theory is importante na ang society daghang mga Karen, mga complain ba?
Kinahanglan tag Karen.
Kinahanglan tag mga people who complain because these are the people that actually trigger the government to action.
Right.
Kaya mo-complain man. And number two, unfortunately, naapag yung mga matay para lang ma-actionan. So akong pangutana ni Bayjaya is this has become a national and unnatural tragedy.
Yes.
Right? Man-made tragedy.
It is man-made.
Do you think
definitely
nga because of the 36 casualties na matay sa Binalo, do you think nga this will trigger us, jolt us kanang makurentihan ta ba?
Right.
To move. Do you feel the corresponding reaction to such a tragedy as the Binalo landfill tragedy?
I could see not so much with the society, not so much with the masses kay ang tendency mo gusto mga tao nagsigilag tan-aw ug unsay trending, but we want to make it a trend. You know, the never again trend. By the way, akong i-promote the never again trend nga never again na moingon lang ta nga move on na Cebu. Di man ta pwede mo move on after what happened to the Tino Baha and also whatever that we had previously. And also this one. Di ta mo move on na ni. We have to settle this down. So I think the LGUs right now are working on it. Nagkandara pa og pangita asa ibutang ng atong basura kaysa 30 days nga gihatag nga gikuan lang sa gi-transfer ba gi-divert lang usa for the meantime. Kay giundang man nila ang pagbutang dito. No, pag human sa nahitabo, Nato sila sa konsolasyon. And karon, if you look at everywhere, nangita na in town ni butang talang sa Cebu City, nangita asa na nila ibutang ang ato ang mga basura diri sa dakbayan sa Sugbo. Nangutana, nanguyab tas Manglinilla. Na right now, I think I just saw in the news, ang Manglinilla di masugot. Because the people in Manglinilla knows. People in Manglinilla, their civil society has come out and they voiced out their concerns. Wa sila masugot. And one of my friends, sa mga kauban ako sa Movement for Livable Cebu, na dito, Cebu City. So, kaning karon ang sa ni-offer pod si Aluginsan ni Mandawi. Si Mandawi, muragi agree nila sila ni Mayor Junki, they were already agreeing with the Aluginsan people. And then bugog ipanguyaban pod sa Cebu. Tiaw mo na asa na kalagyo nila gipang panghangyo nanuktok na dito para landfill lang gihapon ang atong solusyon.
Oh. So kanang landfill, is that a viable solution? Is that a sustainable solution or band-aid solution na siya?
We're not saying that landfills doesn't work. It's obviously there for a purpose. It's a mechanism that's needed. If we have already like urbanized societies, naagi landfill. But I'd like you all, sa mga tanan na minaw, tanan nag-follow nato sa TMC, I'd like you to look at the not Binalio, but the Bayawan story. If we're talking about,
Bayawan ba?
i-search niyo ang Bayawan din sa Negros Oriental. And that's on the west side of Negros. And that's actually where the greatest example of how a landfill should work. Tiaw mo na, Jiggy Juice, nakas landfill, pwede ka mukaon nitong lami yung pagkaon.
Nga naman.
Di kaludon, way baho.
Nga naman may baho.
Kabalo man sila mo segregate. Nya ang moabot dito, unsar gyud angay moabot dito. And then the way they plant, and then
so when you say segregate, kibaw sila mo segregate, are you talking about the people of the place?
The people of Bayawan.
So
meaning
Bayawan is a city or
is a first-class municipality right now.
So gamay ra siya populasyon, di ba?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not so much. But that doesn't mean they're inferior from Cebu City.
Of course not.
We're talking about societies here and then their own governments.
Kana bang recycle bitaw kanang segregate?
Yeah.
Bata pa ko na nakadungog na mo ko.
Dugay na. Uy.
Nganong tan-aw ni mo ba? By Jaya ba?
Oo.
Ngano man ang adherence to kaning segregation, dili man kaayo kaning full, dili man kaayo kaning ang atong mga kaigsuonan kumulabay sila sa, I think I'm sometimes guilty of that, sa
right.
Kaning dili saktuhon og segregate. Ngano man ang adherence na hinay man kayo?
I don't know pero
tapulan
being a Cebuano and being kaning in this island lang, ako lang mahisgutan is grabe nakita ka passive, oy. The passivity is all over the place, man. Like maglakaw lang gud sa dalan, makita gini mo. Naghan jud kay mga nagpundok nga basura. And by the way, Cebu City has been really, really adamant at having segregation from the source, which is Tagbalay. Pero sulay ninyo adto sa mga barangays. Say, for example, makita mo na mo sa Baybayon, tanawa ng Pasil. No? Kita gini mo ba nga?
Bye. I'm sorry to cut you short, but what does that mean? Kung maghisgot ng tagbinalyo kay Moma in the headlines right now, di ba? Kung nag-segregate pa taog tarong, if everybody just segregated their garbage, would we have averted that particular problem?
Of course.
Ngano man. Pasabta ko kung ngano man nga kung nag-segregate na
kung tarong ato segregation,
ang mga households nag-segregate lang og tarong, di ba? Unya nganong ma-avert man to nato nga mahitabo tong Binalyo tragedy. Unsa may mahitabo dai kung i-segregate natog tarong kay ato ra bang i-segregate sa kutob ra tadi sa basurahan, di ba? Puro inikarga sa garbage truck lain na po ng storyahan, di ba?
Yeah.
So explain to me kung kato lang ang ideal situation lang nahitabo nga nag-segregate sa tanang households sa Cebu City. Nganong ma-avert man to nga panghitabo? Go ahead.
Then we could have a lot of infrastructures taking place. Daghan kayo mga MRFs that would come out and a lot of industries were open.
Ko nakasabot inimong isgot da.
Daghan kayo.
Atesa, I want you to say it in layman's terms. Okay, wala ko kasabot ang MRF. Kung ang tanang tao sa syudad sa Sugbo nag-segregate og tarong sa ilahang garbage, niingon ka nga, we would have averted the Binalyo
incident, tragedy,
diba? So, ngano man, because of that simple act of segregating our garbage in Cebu City, nganong ma-avert man to?
Dili inato kada kung bundo dito.
Ngano man?
Nya tarong-tarong na ng itsura.
Ngano man?
Kaya naayon tayo ito'y saktong mga padagan sa balaod. Unya daghan kayo og ma-divert ang mga basura nga dili na inana ang katong nahitabo nga nadakdakan hinuon tong ilahang pasilidad.
Expound ko nung wako kasabot kayo.
Sa kadako sa katong bundo dito, kung nakita mo sa itsura sa asa na siya gipang tapok nga ato ang mga iglalabay.
All I see are the pictures, yeah.
Exactly. So unsa kadako dito, dili unta to mahitabo.
Kay
Daa may daghan kabutangan sa kung unsay angay ibutang.
So give us an example.
Sa bahin pa sa akong gi-share ninyo, what I've shared so far, ang katong mga naara diha is katong residuals. Ang katong mga recyclable. Katong di na mahimuslan ba? Katong mga mahimuslan pa nga mabaligya, pa nga daghan pag matagaag trabaho, daghan pag matagaag pangita.
Example.
Mga botilya sa tubig. Mga takob anang botilya. Kanang imong mga dagkong galon, kanang imong mga guba na plastic,
single-use plastic.
Single-use plastics that could still be utilized.
Okay.
Na ay mo dili gyud na paliton. Ila pa nang pick upon sa imo mismong kuan. Daghan yung nag-offer na. Daghan kay mga facility like the cement makers.
So I overheard somebody once say nga the reason kuno nga kaning bottled water is so prevalent is because it's actually cheaper to make new bottled water than to recycle. So wala cost incentive. Is that correct?
No. Because to recycle, I know that there's cost in recycling it, but there is actually also a price that you will get when you recycle it. Ang industry karon, they're actually rewarding. And in fact, there is a what you call this carbon credits in kanang gibigyan na bayra na ba? So
it's incorrect. So it's incorrect to say nga it's more expensive to recycle plastic and make it into another drinking a bottle of water than to make a totally new one. So it's incorrect. You're saying that it's incorrect. So it's not cheaper to make new bottled water, plastic bottled water.
Yeah, for me. Ako alang because I cannot say
because
completely.
Somebody told me that. So that's the reason why.
Yeah.
Nga kanang bottled water daghan kaayo kay mas dili recycled kay mas barato man na. Yeah, you know
ang pag-produce.
Ang pag-produce kay kanang ang cost to recycle plastic, I guess it's more expensive.
Let me retract,
right?
Juice. Sakto man na sila nga mas barato pa inoon ang maghimog bago kaysa mo recycle kay daghan man kayo og agian. Right? But for me lang the way I see it ba nga daghan magud-untag maka-benefits on our way back sa pag-recycle. Kay daghan man og maka-benefit ba? There are a lot of people nga makahatag po og kita sa mga tao ba. So kung unta to nga naalay mo lihok, mao lang ginay pangutana. Kung makita mo guna nimo sa mga daplindalan.
What do you mean? What do you mean nga daghang mukita sa on the way to recycling plastic into another bottled water?
Yeah, there is ato
bottle, sorry, not bottle.
There is ato anugunan lang ginato ang panahon og oportunidad nga makakita ta og gipanglabay-labay lang bisag asa. Sulayan yung lakaw-lakaw, di ba? Tagay ko ninyo og muhatag ko ninyo tag 5 kada usa kung di mo kitag water bottle nga naa in every 5 seconds.
So nga asa man
kana unta kung ikaw nakakita igpunit nimo kung dili lang maguba ang imong moral, mahadlok ka madawt imong image, that if by the way there are now in Manila, ibutang na nimo sa usa ka machine. It detects it kung naa kay card, if you got a membership whatever there, you get a card, you get a credit. And that credit can be utilized for you to buy something.
Wait a minute, is this happening now in Cebu?
It is happening in Manila.
Okay,
Manila pa.
Okay.
I've shared that recently sa ako ang network mga taga solid waste management.
Kaya ka naman kung incentive, financial incentive is one of the most effective incentives.
Unta.
Diba? So kanang giingon nimo nga kung plastic imuhang ibutang sa usa ka lugar, makadawat ka og credits which is convertible into cash. That's actually a beautiful thing.
That's everything already happening around the world.
Yeah. So that looks like a no-brainer, right?
No-brainer, man. So kana ron medyo mo catch up ata pero ang Manila na ana kabaw na biya basta na ng Manila mo apas na Cebu. Di ba palkansing Cebu. So karon kana siya with that in place, aside from the other things nga pwede na pa nimo mabaligya, let's say you have an item, imo lang limpyuhan gamay, imuhang i-upcycle, the word upcycle kanang mga butang nga abi nimo wa na gamita pero dili paguba. Pero imong paninduton, mutaas ang value. Example ba? So these are the industries nga mahimo nimo, mga pagpangita nga mabutang nga pwede na itong mapahimuslan and we can earn money from it. So muna nga, katong balik ta sa imong pangutana, Jiggy Juice, nga di yun ta ito mahitabo. Di yun mahitabo. Kidagan kay mga tao nga makabenepisyo instead. Nga wa na, plus, dako kay masave ang atong city. Instead of paying 700 million a year or 600 million sa ako na inumduman, ma-divert pa na siyang kwarta sa asa dapit gamiton sa atong infrastructure sa Sugbo.
Kani bang garbage by Jaya ba? Dili mo guni sexy nga topic, di ba?
I know.
Yeah, murag boring kay paminang sa muka niya, hisgot, sagbot diha, murag mo magbuang oy. Pero ang akong pangutana sunod ba by Jaya ba is kani bang garbage ba? Like I said earlier, this is a fact of life, di ba?
Yeah. It's
Naam
part of our footprint, bro.
naam gud tay garbage. Every single person has a garbage.
Mag-ikog yun na
Ang
to.
akong pangutana ani ba is this.
Yeah.
Sa tibuok kalibutan ba like unsa may norm, unsa may pamaagi sa mga syudad, societies like let's just say kaning Japan, let's just say the Nordic regions kanang mga Denmark and Sweden, all of that. Even sa Amerika, unsa may pamaagi nila di ay nga we should look up to kay sige ram hisgot og kuyaw kayong transport system sa Singapore bay. Kuyaw kayong transportation sa Japan bay, sa China kuyaw kayo ato nang sundon. Pero kanang garbage dili man na sexy, di ba? It's not something that we love to talk about. But I think it's important especially now, right? With Binaliw, with a recent Binaliw tragedy. Unsa may gipangbuhat sa ubang nasod bay?
Well, kaning kasagaran akong kauban, for example si ato ang Sir Joey Baclayon, atong agriculturist sa Cebu City. Dito mo ginisig Japan kanunay. He always mentions
naglarga-larga niya way nabuhat.
Mao lagi na anugon kayo ilang mga nakitaan na batyagan o ilahang nakuha nga inspiration. Nahug na tag observer kanunay.
Wishing does not make it so. Observing doesn't make it so. You have to do it, right?
Mo na
so, unsa may nanunggan nimo
ang sa pagbuhat man gud nag-agad man gud ta diri sa mga politiko.
So,
mo ni kapan
unsa may
diri.
pangbuhat sa ubang nasod?
So sa Japan for example, ang ilaha dito, naasad sila by the way, naasad sila waste to energy dito kanang sikat karon nga WTE.
Ato na hisgutan niya
mag-incinerate sila dito. Pero
unsa man ang incinerate by Jay?
Kanang atong daob-daob nga ginabuhat man gid nato, manilhig niya daoban, dahon lang to. Pero kani karon kaning
pero
uban nga mga
dili man ta pag-incinerate dire sa Cebu, dili man to sunugon ang atong sagbot unsa may
ang
kalahian nato sa Japan ngano di man to dauban lang atong sagbot.
Di man ta hapon. Ang hapon mayo man kayo mo integrate, mayo man mo enforce og mo implement.
Unsa man nila pag-incinerate din ay makina na?
Good na siya mga makina.
Di man to palit ang makina ha.
Pwede unta. Nya na agi nag-offer. Pero usa ka pangutana is ang ato among enforcement diri sa atong dakbayan. Kabaw man kita nga bulsa-bulsa. Ug once ka mo sud na diha.
Ko kasabot ang bulsa-bulsa da.
Na agi
unsa may pasabot mo ng bulsa-bulsa unsa pasabot na?
Ang measure sa ang ang pagsukod sa kanabang output niya ba kay naa mo ginay mga manggawas nga mohungaw nga mga di maayong butang mga malang mananap no nga di maayong maadto sa atong masimhot sa mga tao. Pero na ay gwapo kayo nga kuan pud ana jigi juice nga akong kaila na di lang ko mo mention ani. Pero daghan makigpanghaw diha nga nagbuga nagdi maong mga aso diha.
Unsa man ang panghaw ba?
Ang panghaw meaning ka ng mga nag-steam ba nagpagawas og mga aso ba. Daghan man diha including ka ng mga akong amigo na ingon ako ni kanang mga crematorium maghatag man ng mga kuan pero di man na inana nga scale dagko pero naay usa pa gyud nga naghatag og aso nga makita gyud na nimo igabot nimo Cebu sakay kag barko sakay kag eroplano makita gyud na nimo visible kasi mo mata
unsa man ni siya
dagko na sila nga mga exhaust nga panghaw di lang na nato hisgutan sa
what are they burning
gitawag na siya nimo og sa Bisaya pag mga uling pud ba? Pero dili ni siya uling nga kanang pangluto-luto. Kani nga scale.
Coal?
That's called coal. Naamang gani na. So if you are trying to go not say no to WTE, kung imuha lang tanaw sa Philippines, because of that, pwede na nimo siya i-question. Okay, I'm not saying ayaw.
Tesa ba yan? Murag advance sa kay standard. Nangutana lang ko nimo kung ang Japan maayos lang mo incinerate kita dugay naman tang magdaob-daob di ba
dugay na tang daob
pero dili man na pwede daoban ang sagbot kay environmental hazard right sakto ba ko sakto ko so kanang ang Japan naa sila makina nga
naasad sila pero
nga makasunog sa sagbot nga dili makadestroy sa environment.
Ang importante nga istoryahan mo gud nato ani unsa may resulta nga sunugon nila kay para mo na mo provide og power. Kanang atong kuryente asam na nato kuhaon day. Upa na.
Wait a minute ha, by Jaya. Ang atong hisgot ay lang dili ta maghisgot ng power kay murag lain na po ng istorya ha, di ba? Ang ako lang ganahan may bawan is how do we reduce our garbage?
Our garbage,
Mura
exactly.
gid na siya.
Kana.
So kung sunugon ang garbage nga kanang dauban lang like we usually do here in Cebu,
Yeah.
that's an environmental hazard. Am I correct?
If-
That's a big no-no.
If the systems are not well established nga na ay mang leak, pero kung ani maguna kanang WTE nila Jiggy Juice, dili na siya as much as possible 90% ana magamit diretso ang ilahang output, dili manggawas ba, di mang leak, di mang aso ba. So
Okay,
they're well
so you're talking about smoke, day. So kanang smoke,
aso ako pasabot.
kanang manggawas nga smoke, that's an environmental hazard.
That's the one nga
Sige,
environmental
sige, sige.
hazard.
Yun sa man sa Japan di ay nga walay manggawas nga aso.
Kana sa ilahan na siyang aside from the technology, ang ilahang gigamit nga makina, ang ilaha pong pagsigi og monitor ana. Maayo gid mo monitor ang ilahang mga tao sa ilahang gitawag nimo tangpanan sa ilahang gobyerno,
Sa ilahang incinerator.
sa ilang kay ginamonitor man na sa ilaha pong gitawag nimo environment, natural resources nga ahensya sa gobyerno
Yeah, but you
to
know,
always check.
it's a machine that tells you it does one thing. So
Yeah.
if it doesn't do the thing, of course there's something wrong with it, right?
Yes.
So sayo na siya.
Mao jud.
Sayo na siya
And mo na ang trabaho sa nagpadagan ana.
Sayo na pag monitor, di
Mo
ba?
na
So kaning it's funny that we are talking about garbage, but
Yeah.
we are, and I think this is a boring subject, but still we want to talk about this because of the Binalio tragedy. Right?
Tragedy.
Can you simplify to us lang, Jay? Kaya murag complicated naman kayo ni atong hisgutan ba?
yeah.
Dili na may
Ato tag simple.
dili na ko makaapas ba? Dili na atong mga tigpino paminaw dili na makaapas.
Yeah.
Kanang ang atong engagement sa sagbot magud is very very simple, di ba?
It's gross.
Kada adlaw, natay sagbot mo inom tag kape na yung mga coffee filter.
Sachet.
Na yung mga coffee filters, kung mag-sachet ka, na yung mga sachet, na yung mga coffee beans, imoy labay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, mapuno na imong basura, ilabay nimo sa gawas, di ba?
Mo good.
Nya-
Expected.
That's the end of it. Unya magbagut-but lang ta kung dili kolektahon sa garbage truck ang imong sagbot.
Right.
Di ba?
Oh.
By Jaya, as a citizen, as a normal, regular citizen,
As a citizen
like
of
me,
this,
unsa may mabuhat nako nga dili to mahitabo ang nahitabo sa Binalio.
As a regular citizen siguro, una, atong hunonaon nga naagi padulungan tanan natong iglalabay ug tanan natong mga footprints.
Oh, what do you mean by naipadulngan?
Naipadulngan.
Sa basurahan man na padung.
Amo nagiingon nga ang basurahan dili pa na mao.
Unsa man day?
Asam din na mapadung imong basura.
Oh. So
Inig-pick up nila asam na padung.
so dili ka manglabay kung imuhang coffee filter na human nagamit mo
Kana.
imong i-recycle ang coffee filter.
Ninduta gid na imong gi-example karon. Kanang imong coffee filter, ang kanang iyahang mga ground coffee, magamit nimo na fertilizer.
Ako man nang
Ang
ilabay
kanang
sa garden.
filter,
Oh.
nato na siya dito. Kanang filter, it's still organic. Naapo na siya padulungan, but dili siya dali madugta. Pero ang ato ang residual, pwede na sila mo dawat ana or naay mo process ana.
So ikaw mismo sa imuhang garden ba, sa imong backyard kung kung surtion ka nga naa kay gamay
Paso-paso, mga ginagmay lang.
na kay gamay nga garden,
Luna, na kay gamay yuta.
na kay gamay luna ba?
Oo.
What can you do? Pwede ka maghimong imong kagulingong landfill?
Naa kay maghimo-himo kag imuhang urban. Gitawag na ron ng mga karong panahon na gitawag siya urban gardening.
Oh.
Nay mga example ni ana kung makasuroy mo dito sa Cebu Zoo sa una, akong migo diyan si Pads, naghimo na siya
Dili
iyang
si
mga.
Father Tropa, dili sa mumigong Father Tropa.
Wala na ako tong tatay na to dugay na kay to.
Nabi tayo rumor bitaw nga tatay ko na to nimo si Father Tropa.
Elag sabah.
Buangan. Naaday descendant sa Father Tropa dai.
Descendant ni Father Tropa ta. So ang kanang source reduction and reuse mo na siya importante kayo kay dito sa Japan what work no balik ko gamay nga example dito pa lang silang tagbalay kabalo man gud sila gitrain ang mga tao nya kusog nilang disiplina nakabaw sila asa paingon ng ilahang unsay grabe kay silang segregation jigijus nga ginagsag nila.
I completely agree, and I think
Lahi-lahi ba pag lahi-lahi?
that's a very good example sa pero
Oo.
ang pangutana gud nako gud is dili ba na grabe kayo ka labor intensive? Dili ba na sa mga tao lang nga walay trabaho, walay gipang buhat? Kay ako mismo mag-hire pagud ko og kaning gardener para pag kaning pag-trim sa mga tanom.
Yes,
kay wala
yes.
na kay panahon na ng inana. So akong pangutana diri by Jaya is kana imong gipangisgutan ba nga maghimo ta og atong kaugalingon urban gardening
Mo na,
and mahimo tag atong kaugalingon nga landfill if ever.
Yes.
Dili ba na ka labor intensive kayo nga dili kayo na mabuhat sa ordinaryong tao nga busy kaayo nga nangitag panginabuhi nga makakaon sa ikaugma?
It boils down to upbringing.
Oh.
Ang ato among upbringing karon, di mo na gina nga makahisgot kog Japan kay nagi man Japan ka diot, pero ang point ba nga ang ilahang good is ang upbringing nila part na sa ilahang adlaw-adlaw nga pamaagi. Ang ato among good ang na part na to nga na form sa atong
upbringing.
upbringing.
Maski unsa na ka nindot og upbringing nako by Jaya nga buhaton ko ng tanan imong gisulti. Pero kung ang ako ang oras
consume og oras
mapaakan sa ako ang panrabaho, then dili ko makakaon ning kaugma.
Nya wa day tay mga katabang-katabang, wa day tay mga saop-saop system kusog biya kay taana diri.
Atong una ra na by Jaya karon by Jaya lisod na kay na pangitaon, pero akong pangutana lagi ba is that so maybe in Japanese society because they have the right maybe basic income siguro sa ilang mga trabahante unya ilang pero naghan mo kung mabasahan madunggan pud nga kanang mga Japanese pud grabe sa naman trabaho sila. I don't know if they have time to do all of those things that you mentioned, di ba?
Ang Hapon magud naa sila system gitawag kaizen. Ya, kanang kaizen mo na siya diya nagsugod ng gitawag og 5S. 5S 5 ka S no. Sort, systematize, sweep, and kaning mga butanga nga 5 ka S, ila na ng part sa ilahang mga pamaagi. So kanang ilang mga basurahan dito dili na usa one size fits all or one container fits all or place all. Naa na siya butang diri butang ang mga puthaw. Segregation ra gyud simple.
So kana siya kultura na nila.
Kultura nila na-ingrain na nila. Apil na sila kinabuhi.
Kultura ba dili lang na dugay kayo usbon, mahal pag yugay na siya tanan.
Mao lagi.
So unsaon man na to pagsugod aning butanga by Jaya? I think this is very important, di ba? Question, unsaon man na to pagsugod nga ang atong kultura mapareho gamay sa Japan, magdili lang pareho kaayo. Unsaon man to pagsugod niya ni?
Ang importante siguro no kanang di magud ta kinahanglan mo sunod-sunod tag hapon. Ang importante lagi buhaton na to nga kabalo ta nga naipaingnan ang kaning tanan butang atong gipanggamit. Nya kung pwede pa magamit i-set aside kay para kana bitong mga batasan na to kusog mga taon-taan na jigijus nga kana bitong kanang mga nanay bitaw nga gamiton pa ni nako ning sudlanan kay basig butangan nako katong sa sabon nya patuan lang nako nya butangan nako tubig lungagan lang nako ni ana kana nga way of thinking actually works nga ayo diretso labay kay naman po uban pod nga nagamit nako ko sa labay dayon
pero karon bago ni Jaya ang mga manufacturers ba ang tighimo sa atong mga cellphone sa atong mga gadgets atong mga equipment gihimo na nilang usa ka butang para number 1 lisod kaayo or imposibleng ayuhon.
Okay.
Unya na siya designed obsolescence. Pasabot niya na kanang butanga dili na mo lungtad og dugay. Maguba gyud na siya. Ang ikatulo pag yun naipauso-uso pa trending, di ba? So ang imuhang palda, kung imuhang shorts, kung imuhang karsonis kaning baston pa nabuang man that's so 2000, kinang bukad-bukad naman karon, di ba? So So wala na kasuso, mapugos ka og palit kung ganahan ka sa kaning dili ka tiguang tanawon, kung dili ka ganahan nga dili porang nabiyaan ka sa panahon nga mura man kag imong teenager man ta kadong mga imong karsonis kinaraan man na, di ba? Dili ka mauwawan, di ba? Palit jud kag pauso nga karsonis, di ba? So kanang mga butanga ba? Grabe kay na sila makinarya, the machinery of their advertising, their promotions is they spend millions if not billions to sell kaning tawag lang fast fashion, di ba? So pero matay bout ana bay naatay bout ana
actually naatay usa ka very sustainable way nga ginabuhat karon diri sa atong culture jigijus. We are actually doing it now. The ukay culture is very much on nga kita kabaw kita mo reuse kabaw pata and we have it at a value. Mga brands karon
ang akong problema sa nung kay ukay sa trash sagbot man sana og huga sa ubang nasod, di ba? Ilabay diri, di ba?
Ang uban problema sana sa landfill kay adtom na landfill paingon jigi juice nya mo na ilisod kay gahi kinastanan ya it accumulates weight.
Correct lagi niya. So I can imagine kanang mga ukay-ukay nga gilabay diri sa ubang nasod.
Right.
Gamay ra kay porsyento ang mapalit, malabay ra gyapon.
Labay gyap. So I understand.
Mo compound pag yun atong problema because of the unsold land kaning ukay-ukay, di ba?
Follow mo 105 TMC 105.1 Facebook.
Mo ra gyapon bay kanang ukay-ukay nimong gihisgutan. That's
yes.
That sounds like a solution, but if you think about it, this is additional garbage thrown by first world countries to our country. Only a small percentage of those that are actually bought ang uban ipanglabay ra gyud panagbalik.
Tinuod
So
yun.
mo samot hino atong sagbot diri.
Mo na Jiggy Juice katong word nga upcycle Jiggy Juice. Katong mga tao nga mga naagi diskarte, ila na po nang makwartahan. For what? Kanang mga imong giingon nga di na mapuslan. Those that are not gonna be used in that context as a fashion, fast fashion. Pwede siya himog trapo. Kita na. Actually, naaman tayo things that worked in our own sense here sa ato ang culture that actually works already. Kabauta mo reuse ba? Kabauta mo upcycle og mga butang. Naana na to. We're
Pero
innovators.
sad to say, by Jaya, we are not upcycling. We're not recycling often enough to catch up with the garbage that we have, diba? So it's not working. In other words, that's what I'm saying. It's not working.
It's not at that scale. It works, but it's not at that scale that makes an impact.
Whatever.
Somehow ba?
It's not making an impact, right?
It's not making an
impact. So it looks
yet.
like we have another solution.
Then we can
need
mainstream it. Also, kanang ato mga influencer karon, I'm thinking about it. Gatanaw ko sa mga influencers ba. Daghan man kay mga brilliant. Tanaw na to unsay inyong responsibility. Asan niyo gigamit?
Lahi man nilang mga motive na.
Right?
By Jaya, bago rata naghisgo na to mga Ruso nga o katong uban mga langyaw nga pagdakop kay kaning nag-exhibition. Lahi para nako by Jaya kanang if you look at influencers, if you look at that side of society,
right?
Onya you want the garbage problem to be solved by an influencer. That's too much of a stretch.
They're not the ones who solve this. But ang atuwa lang is we're encouraging them to do their part as well. Pero ang society kita mismo ourselves would have to.
But isn't society those influencers in the first place?
They are also part of society.
Yeah.
So ato Jiggy Juice and our part here sa ato ang kapunungan diri sa ato ang Sibyaan at TMC. We're also doing our part. That's why us as mainstream media, we're doing our part to influence in a good way. What is most often overlooked. Wala bitaw pay attention.
Correct.
So I think it's a good thing that we're discussing this right now.
Ang importante is you're aware, di ba? It all begins with awareness.
Pagkabana.
It does not stop there.
It doesn't stop
diba? Kang kana manggong atong utok manggod is dili na kadaghanan sa mga utok magahi matag ugod. Kaning dili na mo respond ay kausara.
No, of course not.
Magbalik-balik ka ng recycle good dugay bata pa ko nandun nanay recycle, reuse, recycle whatever, di ba?
Yeah.
Antud karon wala pa na master na to.
Yeah.
Dili pasabot nga mo give up ta.
Yeah.
Padayon ta, we have to continue with a messaging that we have to recycle our garbage. Diba? Ayaw lang give up. I think money should be spent on promotions, in advertising, in streamers and posters and social media, YouTube videos and social media videos to promote recycling of garbage, right? We cannot give up because I think the options are what happened to Binalyo, di ba?
Right.
Nga daghang kay nga matay, di ba? So kamo diya kung naamoy mga solusyon nga ganahan ninyo i-contribute, ihisgot namo karong gabi una, just message us on our Facebook page TMC 105.1. Naminaw mo sa Inato lang. This is the Semanang Ni-agi. These are the things that happened in the past week. Kay Biyernes man karon, everybody's having fun and so on and so forth. In fact, I have to go in a while.
Right.
By Jaya, as a parting message, I think it's important that you leave on a positive note, diba?
That's true.
So let us know sa ato ang the Binalyo tragedy which killed 36 individuals. How can we look at that, learn from that, and also what can you tell our listeners and viewers nga will give them a bit of hope?
Well, the thing that naagi na to accessible is really for us to do the thing that we have to do. Once we see something that's sketchy and not right, we want to actually try to do the right thing. So karon nakabaw naman ta sa kahimtangan, we're aware now. We want to push on, we want to continue and follow what works. Kanang akong gihisgot, we don't have to be Japan, we don't have to be Germany, we don't have to be Sweden. Di man ta kinahanglan yun nga mahimo tang langyaw sa atong kaugalingong nasud, sa atong kaugalingong city. We can do our part. The first thing that we got to do is that we sige man nagbalik-balik no kanang the reduce, reuse, recycle. Actually napanay daghan ron. the R's are actually very important. So as much as possible, we incorporate it in our daily activities, in our daily bread, in our daily lifestyle. So once we do things nga, dili na ta magsalig ba? Right? Asa mga Jiggy Juice? Ato na ta? Alright. Sige. Alright. Raf is gonna be there with me right now. Muna nga, for everybody to play along the part, I think, kita ninyo, we will have to be very, very much kaning active in supporting this whole movement, no? Sa ato ang mga panginahanglan. All right, in our days, we need to really start not just reading, not just being inspired, but we need to take actions, I think. It starts within our own home. It starts within our own selves. And it's definitely something that we can actually go and do. No? So for now, I think for me and for our Inato sa ato ang kagabion karong adlaw, right?
Yeah.
With Jiggy Juice and Jiggy has to go. He has to go on his flight date.
Kinsa ka na yung ka-date ni Jiggy, no?
Wana. So for now, I'll just continue on. Jaya is gonna be here and Raf is gonna fill in for Jiggy kay nara mo just Raf all along.
Lagi.
Ayayo Jiggy Juice ayayo na.
Amping na bro, amping.
Mona. So anyway, these are the top 5 because what we're trying to do here, Raf, for Inato is we wanna try to do our miaging semana every Friday.
Yeah,
Kami ni Jiggy, we talk about it, and we're gonna talk about. Hello, where are you from? We're from India.
Hey,
hello,
shout out.
namaste. Yes. Yeah, danyawan. All right.
Safe na kay buong mo guys. Daghan pag-i-upload ang mga guests.
This is TMC 105.1. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoy.
Follow us on our Facebook page
Yes,
at TMC 105.1. Of
Correct,
course, we also have our YouTube page, Tops Media Center, and our TikTok page, Tops Media Center
That's
as well.
correct. That's it. Right. So I can stay here for a little bit longer. Okay. This is supposed to be from Sutorasa.
6 to 8.
6 to 8. Yeah. Ang nakitaan mo, if you just go onto our website, it's from 7 to 10. See, by Jaya is going to be 7 to 10. But it's okay. Flexible type. We have some guests. We will actually sometimes have guests around that would play live. It's very open for the show later on. Sooner, we will have the guests. But for now, wala pa. I don't want to play a cappella dire. Si Raf akong tukaran. I don't wanna just sing to Raf all the time. He's been hearing me sing anyway. So
Kanindot ra ba kanig vocal si Bajaya?
no problem, man.
Makasuya din kayo.
So karon with regards to our katong atong gihisgutan just earlier with Jiggy nga ganahan ako magpadayon, Raf. And katong among top 5 is gonna happen every Fridays, no? So if you do have any suggestions or any idea in mind na ganahan or kanang pressing issues nga ganahan mo ibahin na mo, you can just go ahead, chat with us at TMC 105.1, or you can message us through our page and our Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. You can message us unsay inyong suggestions. Feel free, huh? So napabata sa atong text line also. It's 0999-887-6070. You can also message us there. Huh?
Yes. Speaking of atong mga messages, napaday si Janro Wheaton sa atong Facebook Live. Diyan si Janro. Awesome evening by Jaya, your TMC superfan. Janro here locking in with the current corruption scandal and the suffering of the Filipino people from the preventable disasters. Gusto daw siya mo request og song Upuan by Glock 9 as a song that became
happening
viral
later on,
once again at the start of the Ghost Projects. Yes.
Right, yeah.
Janro, pwede rin mo adhere sa mga requests pero not right now sa atong live kay dili ta pwede mo play og music sa atong mga live streams.
Right.
However, after the live streams, pwede ka mo tune in sa atong website topsmediacenter.com and we'll play your request.
That's true. Later on. For now, Atuasa is hinabi and our way of doing things here for the show, for the meantime, no? And by the way, we're joined in with the rest of our guests here at Sky 360. Mayang gabi, good evening to you all. A lot of you are coming in on a Friday. there is Sky 360 at Tops, and definitely enjoying the view, the sights, the cool breeze, and of course your friendly connections right now happening in the area. So enjoy your night. Be safe always, and save some pictures, and also like and follow TMC 105.1 if you have the chance, so that you actually, if you're right behind me, makita na ninyo behind this mirror or the wall, the glass wall, you will actually see yourself, and even get that sight and share sa inyong mga kuan. You can actually be on TMC or have TMC with you. All right, bitaw. So going on. Sa moving forward sa ato ang paghinabi dire with Raf right now, those are the top 5 that we wanna discuss ni-aging semana. All right. So we're talking about having it regularly. Ni Jiggy here on Fridays. For as long as he's around, he will be with me. But also when I'm around, I'm gonna be continuing anyway. No, and Raf is also there around with me. So we will actually move on and continue with our,
Sige, go. Asa na ta sa atong list by Jaya?
Our list, we're actually on. I think wala man kayo na discuss ni Jiggy pong iyaha. He has supposed to discuss his, but dool naman good me good. Like everything that he mentioned kanina, we're very close to that. And I think for you, Raf, unsa man na mo. If I'm gonna ask you what's your top 5 nga basig wala na mo ma-discuss ni Jiggy, why not mention that? Unsa may mohang top 5?
I guess more kay something na merg na follow I've been following through the week kay some international nga news. I think probably ang pinaka fright I guess recently na ay what do you call this? Security guard ni Maduro sa Venezuela nga I think got interviewed sa isa ka local nga network, I believe, and naghatag siya iyang recount sa the day nga ni na-capture sa US si Maduro.
Mao ba?
And yeah, it was a very interesting retelling sa events kay na bring up jud niya the fact nga ang US Special Forces nga who were on the ground that day kay mga gagmay rato sila, like dili kay sila daghan ba, I think around 20 soldiers daw sa iyang mahinumduman.
Yeah.
And tungod sa technology na ilang gi-unveil gigamit rather that night kay even though hundreds kabuok security guards nga military personnel for Maduro,
right.
wala nila nakaya ang 20 kabuok nga special forces sa US. So I think probably nakulang jud ko taken aback kay ang ilang gidiscuss nga potential technology kay kuan daw first kay after na cut ang power nila sa ilang city kay naadayon mga drones hundreds daw of drones ni kalitog swarm sa skies nya naglibog sila unsay buhaton nila. After nag-swarm ang mga drones na yung mga helicopters ni sulod and then ni propel down ang mga US Special Forces, and even though makita nila they couldn't react kay all of a sudden they got hit by some kind of ang ilang gi-describe nga mga powerful nga sonic nga wave nga na-incapacitate ang mga sundalos ang mga security personnel ni Maduro. And they were bleeding from the ears and the eyes, and some of them were even vomiting and very nausea-inducing beam or some kind.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like wow, bro. Ang ganang mga bagong nga technology ba for warfare. It's kind of like frightening.
Yeah.
And naghuna-huna ako ba like, oh my gosh, like unsa ka mahitabo no if we get into like another global nga conflict murag hadlok did kayo. So, that's probably the main reason nga it's the first news story that kind of comes to mind.
Yeah.
Medyo concerning did kayo para nako.
My goodness.
Or what do you think about that, Baja?
Well, I haven't been really following especially on that story, but hearing that from you, murag that's really very visual, man.
Lagi.
And Okay, right now, for me, my pressing issues has been just within our locale, and
lagi.
I didn't really pay attention so much with what's going on. But glad to know what's going on, and yeah, that's your take. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ikapila na nimo. That's your number.
That's probably kana kay number 1 siguro to. Start na ko sa number 1 kay murag very wow. Oh no.
Yeah.
Concerning jud kay siya kay I remember also supposedly during sa New Year statement ni kay naghatag mo New Year speech si President Xi Jinping sa China.
Okay, kana
where
China. Yeah.
Basically niingon siya nga by 2026 mo reunite na ta sa Taiwan. So
That's the Philippines and China.
Yeah, China.
China saying that
saying mo reunite na daw sila sa Taiwan.
All right, I
which
see.
Basically, Taiwan doesn't want that. So
yeah.
Pugso na nila, so it's probably gonna turn into a conflict, and so medyo ni conscious sa akong huna is like global conflict might be on our doorstep.
Right. Yeah.
Medyo we just as much as sila sa Venezuela unprepared sa bag-o nga technologies nga ginagamit karon.
Yeah.
Unsa na lang ka ta?
Mojud.
Dire. So manang number 1 did na siya sa akong mahuna-huna nga news stories of the week.
Right. Well, kaning Taiwan, by the way, kasi sige na magigugisgot about our kagikanan and our linkage to our ancestral connection. Taiwan is also our Austronesian bloodline. Kaliwat na to na sila.
Really?
Yeah, so just to let you know, the Taiwan, definitely, especially the indigenous of Taiwan, they are our blood relations. And they're not necessarily the inhabitants purely of China, and they're in the migration. They're part of the settlement dito. Nag-abot ra gyud na diha. We are a mix of our different source of races, I would say. So that knowing that kuan ng China, but of course we have a lot of percentage as well, Chinese blood here. Daghan kay nato mga kaliwat here that are Chinese related. In fact, our national hero is definitely Chinese related or Chinese family. Si Jose Rizal. In fact, in a village in China, he's celebrated there because his grandfather, his direct grandfather was coming from that village.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Karon pa ko ano say names of villages.
I forgot. Let me try to backtrack on that because I read on that kanang how do I say this? The Rizal's kaning let me type it in, huh?
Sige, go. That's a very interesting tidbit of information ba nga.
Yeah.
Even in China, gina-celebrate ang atong national hero, which is it's something, no?
Actually, they have an event there.
I knew I knew he traveled all the way to Europe, but I didn't know he left he left a sort of legacy sa
definitely.
Sa China.
Definitely. I mean, he's celebrated sa mga Chinese because of ancestry niya. Documented na siya, well documented na because he's of a Filipino-Chinese bloodline through the paternal lineage, no? Si ihang great grandfather dito niya.
Okay.
Si Domingo Lam-ko, otherwise known as the Chinese name Ke Yinan and Kwa Yi Lam. A full-blooded Chinese merchant na siya gikan sa village sa Xiongke in Xinjiang, Fujian.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Xinjiang,
so immigrant na siya adto sa Philippines in the late 17th century, no? About approximately 1690s. Sa basically lolo na gini niya. Gikan atong mga apelyido nila nga Lamco back in 1687, no? Ni change siya into what you know now as the Mercado, right? Nagpa-baptize sila sa Catholic Church through the Manila Parian District and na-adapt na nila nga last name or surname. ang merkado, which is actually Spanish for market. Kay kuan man sila. Para lang malihay po ang ilahang family sa daghan magugkusog magutong katong panahon na ang protest sa mga anti-Chinese pod during that time. Right?
Yeah.
Kay mo man na ang time nga kusog na jud kayo ang colony sa Spain that's really bombarding the Philippines. So the successive generations of the Lamcos, which is the Francisco Mercado and the grandson Juan Mercado, then both married Chinese mestizas paghapon.
Wow.
And mga local leaders sa Binyan, Laguna. Mo nang ilado na siya diya sa Laguna.
Okay.
So iyang maternal lineage pod, yang mama ni Rizal, si Teodora Alonso Rialonda, kay naa gihapon Chinese heritage, no? In iyang lineage gikan sa Intik, Hapon, nagsagol-sagol na iyang great-grandfather was sa iyang maternal si Manuel de Quintos, which is a Chinese-Filipino mestizo nga abogado sa Pangasinan. No, muratag nagkuha na ni sa history ha. Kay
bitaw.
Hisgot matag Intik good niya. I don't want us to be alienated to that which is our bloodline related. Kadugo na to, no? And ako aba, the way we view Chinese, not just a merchant and business entrepreneurs around the area sa atuang lugar, they are very important to our society. In our bloodline, it's there. And in the way we do our commerce, it's in our systems anyway. No, aside lang sa pagkahinanggaw nga na-evolve sa mga Pilipino, the systems that are in place were because of our Chinese linkage. Our trading was doing very good because of our Chinese linkage. I want us to really know that part. So we should not be afraid of China. Ako lang ha. If any one of you here hears this part. By the way, I want to go back to the significance now. Ang Rizal Park nga naa sa China is actually found in Xinjiang, Fujian, which I mentioned sa iyang paternal nga lineage. It's a 5-hectare cultural plaza that features the largest Rizal monument outside sa Pilipinas. Huh? So that Xinjiang monument, taas pa jud kayo. Buka sa kataas It's 18.61 meters tall. No, it's a tribute to Rizal's birth year, which is in 1861. Imagine nun sa Kapinanga, Rizal, China. Now, heritage sites, ang mga genealogical studies are going on such that katong na-associate sa kanang gitawag og Bahay Chinoy nga nas Manila. Okay? Continue to do this work of tracing lineages, no? Nga ang uban na records karon nga na-trace nga ang ancestors pagyud ni ato ang mga not just Rizal kay naa sa mga 22 ka generations. That could even go to the key family in China. Now, imagine this, ha? And going back to, you know, kato ang ni banat ko diri ha, Ralph, because what is very important here to find is our economy. And look at China's economy. Look at how the world is shaped by China. Ako ala ng take. That's my take. And because when we start talking about this, naarabagid na yung mga naysayers that would start telling you, you're CPP, NPA, puwa ka, dekabukid ka, you know. No, it's not about it. It's about being true to what you see and true to what you've experienced and true to what you haven't seen in the world. You know, everything, you know, God made the world. You know, remember the saying, ba? God made the world. And everything else
is made in China.
Come on, man!
Baka dumdum ka na sa katong kan binisaya gani nga kan sa YouTube nga salida unsa to nga kan.
Diba? Apokalipto man. Si
Bisaya version.
Si Paxiu, the Irombo. Bisaya the Ilonggo version as well. Malingaw.
Ano pa to Ilonggo?
Malingaw Ilonggo, mas malingaw. You know, so like the way we're talking here, we want to try to be very, you know, very dynamic. Whatever comes and flows, and the fluidity of things. We have to really see it that way, rather than being so constricted by whatever it is na atuang ginaatubang kada adlaw Nawa sad ka na sumuli na nawa ka sumuhi ana imo ang mga pagtuo diha nga napanos na gyud kay na. Mas panos pa na sa bahaw nimo nga naa diha nga wa nimo makaon gabi. So inaana ba? We have to really see what are opportunities aside just to see only the pogo effect. You know, carrying on with our kuan. Ay mo ka nga na kay makita mo na ko basig ikaw mo gud pikot mo kag mata insik mo. No, that's not about that. You know, I'd like to be more optimistic in things, you know, because
understandable.
You can never deny the linkages of blood, man. And then we can actually bank on ato ang sugdan diha sa asa ta kusog. Maitag trading tungod sa atong ininsik nga pagdala. Kay kung maingon jud kag mga Pinoy, the way we are, daghan jud kay tag mga wat sinanggong gipang buhat. I'm not saying bati tanan, but daghan tag gibuhat nga wat sinanggo. When you say Philippinized, gawas pa sa Cebuanized. By the way, na ako gi-coin nga term ron na Cebuanized sa akong mga amigo nga katubang mga taga gawas sa Cebu ba nga taga Ilonggo, mga Waray nun, nangabot diri na form na ilang mindset ba nga taga Cebu na ko taga diri na ko dugay na ko rin. So Cebuanized at sila ba? So in other words, we need to look at and become optimistic of what it is that we're facing rather than being fear-based and just going on the mongering aspect of it and being trapped by that. Daghang kay opportunities ba? Look at your electric cars now moving around the city, man, for God's sakes. Di nagikan. Ngano na afford? Ngano ka afford man mo na? Well, you know, ngano ka afford that alone with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Gikan lagi cheap made products gikan sa China. And pero I think one thing I would mo push back ko kamay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think one of the clear ways to push back against that is to say nga ang imong gi bring up nga dynamic. It's in the past. Wala na karon.
What do you mean wala na karon?
What I mean is like
ang
atong international trade dynamics nga naa sa una, dili na siya pareha sa unsay naa karon.
It's still here but dili na pareha og way siguro, you saying, no?
Yeah. Most definitely ang core basics of international trade sa una dili na sila pareha sa unsay ginabuhat karon. And a lot of international trade kung sa China ba na, sa Russia, sa Amerika or bisag unsa nga mga nasod nga sa lain. Right. Kasagara a lot of the trade nga ginabuhat sa international market kay naay power play pod gina.
The global dominance is being fought after, you know.
Yeah, it's being fought after sa sa economic side na. Kasagari sa mga mo nang katulaging Cold War, that's one economic Cold War ang ginatawag nila karon. And so mo nang I think probably ang biggest nga reasonable nga concern para sa ako po is that if mo engage ta og trade with the people who are currently kanang really denying our rights sa West Philippine Sea, what is isn't there don't you see nga na potential nga mo take advantage sila nato through that trade nga relationship?
Kana basta mo lang akong gi-mention earlier is that it can go past the controversy of the West Philippine Sea itself, because what we are seeing is the fight for territory. Is that right?
In global domination, dude.
Canada and Pita, I'll give my 2 cents on this. We are so engrossed with the idea that we need to fight for the West Philippine Sea territory. Na ko'y simple question. For what? What are you fighting the West Philippine Sea territory for? Is that for environment? Is that for an economic zone? Is that for whatever it is that we're supposed to use that whole area of a natural environment and a natural resource, right? What are we fighting that territory for? Okay, let's just go by that simple question that we want to try to throw right now. Ito ilabay na siya nga pangutana. Unsam gi atong giawayan diyan napita Raf. Ako basig makatubag ka ba? Malamdagan minimo ba?
Okay. let's see. I-boil down na to. Unsa man jud ang atong gikalabanan dira.
Yeah.
First and foremost is the fact nga karon it is a strategic nga nga
For what?
it's for waterways, pathways.
Okay.
Awa
Sige.
karon after pila like a decade, more than a decade na nga it's naasa ilahang control ang katong mga reefs. Unsay gibuhat nila, nag-set up sila mga not just mga gigamit nila ang mga existing islands, pero nag-set up pud sila mga man-made nga islands.
Yeah.
And didto na nakapwesto na sila mga military equipment, military bases, full bases. Sa last photo run na ako nakita, kay they even have kanang airstrips for kanang air base jud.
Okay.
Mga fighter jets, mga stealth ships,
Right.
mga destroyers, and nasa lay radar systems nga na-set up dito.
Okay.
So obvious kaya ang ilang goal didto is ang strategic location niya.
Okay.
Mahimo siya pathway nga easily mo makaagi ang ilang mga ships,
Right.
and maka-refuel sila, all that. You know, it's going to turn into isa ka checkpoint tahay for their equipment.
Yeah.
We are not necessarily we have economic relations with them.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
But they have in terms of like military allegiances, we don't have that with them. So na reasonable concern para nako nga the fact that they were able to set up military bases there gives them a very good opportunity to basically do whatever they want here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And given the fact nga wala tay military allegiance sa ilaha, concerning jud siya para nako kay what if they turn their military on us, against us?
Right. That is actually a possibility that you're talking about, right?
Yeah, it is.
And kani nabot madadali na pita ato lang gamay pong taga panahon ba. Kaya I'd like to really present a perspective siguro nga for a lot of us nga ginakuha na ron, especially katong mga tao nga nagmatngon good that are really paying attention to the political scenario of the global kanang the global avenue, the global arena ba. So in terms of territory nga imong gi-mention, then I wanna picture out the military allegiance for now. Okay, right now mo good tungod man good sad, and you cannot ever deny this, that we are the little brown cousins of Americanos. And for a lot of our economic ties and a lot of our economic exchanges globally, nagpaluyo ra gid ta sa Amerika. Na unsay gikan state, we yield to them. In fact, through that yielding, daghan kay natong mga systems dire nga either ni improve, and also a lot of systems are being corrupted in a way.
Yeah.
So in atong balaod, by the way, naghisgot pod mi ni Jigujus ana ganina nga atong balaod is actually crafted after ilahang constitution. Our constitution is actually being crafted, you know, nagsunod-sunod ra nila ba?
Lagi.
So
Sundog-sundog ra.
and I appreciate that. Nindot man ta og balaod, di lang jud masunod.
Lagi. Tinood ang pag-execute lang jud sa balaod ang problema.
Daghan lang gyud kay liko-liko, no?
Lagi.
Nga karon daghan tag maayong abogado, daghan lang gyud tungod sa kamao sa jud mangitag pamaagi gawas sa gi-establish nga balaod.
True,
right? And
true.
And for me lang in the lens of how we see the dispute within the territories is something more of how we should be looking at another. Murabag karon naglingkod kasi mong bangko, Raf. Hangyo lang ko nimo, lingkod ko no suway aning usa ka bangko na pod. Ana bang ina nga concept ba?
Sige.
So it's more of how I wanna try to let you just try
Go.
nga musuway pod og tan-aw sa lain nga kuan. Kaya nga tong allegiance lagi, and we're seeing loyalty. We're seeing loyalty right now to be the brown cousin of America. Everything we do, maigid kay ta ako. Honestly, ingong gusto jigi gina, maigid kami in English. Yes. Buo may gidak-an ako. Pero kung sa atong school system ang gigamit Mandarin, wa gid. Ni hao ma, wal ni hao. Yeah. So it could have been different. Nausab siguro basig nag-check na ta diri. Yeah, nagkuha na ta, nag-Fujian na ta diri. Fujian apple. All right, so the way we see things right now, because we see every bit of mechanism nga based on the American the American narrative, the agenda. And then everything is on the west side. Ang ako alang take ani is that, okay, moto akong pangutana, unsa gyud hinungdan anang atoang Spratlys and the West Philippine Sea and the islands dia. Kung ako alang sa ako ang bahin ana, kung kadautan sa natural resources, I'm against that.
Oh yeah, for
Di
sure.
ko musugot ana, like butang kag military base and without respect to the natural ecosystems that's in place. It's a violation for me.
Yeah, and
for me lang
to add on that pod before you continue. Kaya nakakita ko report na a lot of the ships that that China has set up in the West Philippine Sea, kaya they're just dumping their waste right there. Right where they're staying. And there were photos na jud nga murag ni brown na gamay ang tubig. So there's also that pod. They are wala sa paki sa ilang damage to the natural environment.
Lagi. So there's actually an avenue for that. There's an international court that would actually,
hantod karon wa man gyapon sila ni kuan.
Kana.
Ni sunod sa international nga kuan.
Sa ako ang side for my take on that is kung ilahang gidaot without any form of remorse or any form of awareness and that context ba nga. What did you do in relation to the ecosystems na kay gidaot diha nga mga marine wildlife and also the residents in the area imong what do you call this gikuhaan sa ilahang liberty, and that's a violation definitely,
for sure.
So if in the fear of a territory and dispute, if as long as you stay independent mo tong gisgod ni Jiggy nga, as long as you stay independent from your point of view nga Amerikano ka. If you're not seeing that ba nga, well, I'm a free state. Walay nagbuot na ko, we have a sovereignty. It is in our preamble in the Constitution. We stand by it. Kung ingana tawag point of view, kita angay kabalaka. And at the same time, we could actually go better with our negotiations if in that case. Pero kung sumbong na mo sa mga warships, padung na diha, because sa tinuod lang, wag iti capacity. Raf, sa tinuod lang, wag iti capacity, di kita kasugat nila sa kadaghan o sa kadako o sa kadaghan o ka-powerful sa ilahang mga armas. Sa tinuod lang, wag itay baot.
Lagi.
Wag itay angay ikasukol-sukol. But if we are in a stance where sama na diya, pwede ito magstorya na. Di ko Amerikano, di si ko insik, pero pwede ito storya na. Uy, by the way, kaliwat na pa ito dugo, pwede ito magtinarog storya na. So ito pwede mabuhat diya. But if we're coming from that stance, maybe we could actually do a better bilateral talks. We could actually do, pero because our way of seeing this, especially the way we have been, always spread out with the news and then the whole information that's out there, we are always instigated, we're always incited, hey, we have to defend. Do, dili kita ka-defend lagi. Kay kansi kita sa powerhouse diha, sa firepower, the military forces, wag kita about. So because you feel nga makapalaban man ka, and then you say, please help us, Kuya Big Bros. That's what happens now. And so what happens is we become antagonistic to these every bit of things that's happening. It's actually how we perceive things that is actually shaping us. Ako lang ha. It's not that I'm trying to side on any side, and I'm not against the U.S. Our links with the U.S. relationship, because at any point in time something might happen. Na magimahitabo posible. Now, no matter what happens here, is two things would be very, very clear. Two things. Mura sa jiggy. Takdan mo ko ng jiggy. Two things. So, usaan na is that if we are so much the way we are now, igo gitaway. We're victims of our indoctrination. But the other thing what we could have done is we become facilitators. You know what happens if you're a facilitator, ba? Ang nakanindot kung facilitator ta, Raf, is there's conflict going on, wakay labot. Facilitator maga. Kamo baga facilitator, maghatag kag conflict management. I'm a trainer. There are two in an organization, in a global organization, there are two conflicting teams. Team A is US, Team B is China.
Yeah.
Facilitator man da. The good thing as a facilitator is that you can actually have your own space that we want to be facilitator, but of course there's the international court, there's the UN. But us, if we are trying to be there in our own space, in our own sovereignty, kung klaro lang kita mo barog sa ato ang indot ra bagay sininaw, tanawa na sininaw ni Raf Day. So sure ko na mo sininaw, Raf. If we are a bagani sa gugma, I like that shirt. So if you're a bagani, a warrior in us, if we are sovereign, if we know our true culture, if we know our tradition, if we know our heritage, we have a lot of indigenous people here. We're very much known for our identity. If we only stand by our identity and we say, away lang na ninyo ha, umilabot na. We're here because, ani mo dire na may trade relations with us. But, away mo da. Kana inyong kuan, sabutan na ba, istorya tagtarong ba? Can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Oy, dire, naamoy kuan na mo, we have a visiting forces agreement, right? But for the meantime, namtay conflict stops na to. Posa ta. Posa ta ninyo ganito, boss. Diot lang sa, di may magilabot na ninyo away ha. And then we want to try to establish our sovereignty here. We want to try to check up with UN. We want to try to make sure that our sovereignty is being upheld.
Yeah.
And that's why, as a Filipino, I would say, named after King Felipe, wapagyapunta kabuhi, wapagyapunta na liberate. We need our own name, for God's sake. We need our own name. Listen to this, ha? We need to be free from that. Kay karon oripon pa mangyapunta. The right oripon, no? So anyway, ako lang ng encouragement to be having another kanabang shoe to fit in your feet.
Yeah.
Dip in another form of standpoint. Okay, right now we're being very upholding to the concurrent nga kaning narrative nga nahitabo karon ang naa bitaw nga nagtumaw nga nagbalik-balik and mura gud na sila sa una unsay mo makit-an permi sa ato ang mga local news mura pud ang imong isulti. It's like a script but that you keep hearing every single day, and that's the only thing that we can actually, mugawas pud sa atong nahuna. And that's only for me. I'm not saying that definitely will happen. That would now be reliant on our national government.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's also for the people who are in the policy making and everybody else in the lawmakers.
Yeah.
And at the same time, people in education, man, in media.
Yeah, definitely kon. How we shape our views kay part yun na siya.
Okay, maminaw bitaw ka, Raf. Before I let you, sorry to hold your thought.
Sige.
Because if you listen to these mga experts bitaw in international law and law, mga professors, grabe, bay. And the way I operate, magod, I don't want to operate so much on the left brain. I want to operate on the right brain where there's a lot of fluidity lagi. Daghan kuan. Kita biya, we're known to be martial artists sa sinawali. We're known to be blades. We're known to be looking left and right. Ang atong movement is not so much linear. We're like sideways. Yung atong movement is wangi-wangi gina natay tuya-tuya. That's why our music is Pong pa ni Manong Joey Ayala, our music is kundiman style. We are swaying to the left and to the right. Di kita confrontative, di ta nga inana. So I'm trying to encourage us to bring us back to our natural rhythms in our own lineage ba.
Yeah.
So mo lang na siya akong kwan. See, as you were saying.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out lang kay Asher Kabilao sa atong Facebook live comment
section.
Asher, hello, maayong gabi.
Yeah,
Asher, magandang gabi if Tagalog ka ba?
Yeah, Tagalog siya.
I forgot actually.
Okay.
Kapila naman jud ni abot si Asher sa atong comment sections. Nakalimot lang jud ko tong taga-asa ba ni si Asher. Asher, where are you from? Anyway, before
Taga-asa ka.
Yeah, while we wait for ang reply ni Asher, I guess mo konpot ko. I think nindot ang imong you bring up now. It would be nice to try a different perspective sa pagtanaw ani. And dili ko I would say jud na jud tay bias towards ang atong relationship with Western powers like ang Big Brother lagi nato ang US. Kana natay murag bias towards that. Pero I don't know if that's completely taking over ang atong view sa West Philippine Sea situation. I would say jud nga first and foremost jud ang issue of Philippine sovereignty is unsay naa sa huna-huna sa mga sa atong mga kababayan na jud ang ilang makita dira is not problema ni para sa US dili problema ni para nato jud because first and foremost that is within our territory according to international law. It was already decided sa international court nga ato jud na. Pero ang problema kay di man sila maminaw. So here's another thing I would like to raise to you. Kay makasabot ko sa imong point now. It would be nice nga nga maka-maintain tag level of neutrality gani.
Bitaw.
Nga whenever gubot mo musugod na.
Bitaw.
Wala tay labot. Inyo na. Wa may labot dire kay kinsa raman mi.
Right.
We can't fight any of you. We ngano idamay mi ninyo. Ang akong concern dira is what if pugson ta nga paapelon ta? Because as we can see already, when it comes to international law, ginabaliwala ra nila. So, what about the What if international law na gani, dili sila maminaw ana, ibaliwala ra nila? How can we expect them to uphold to any other kinds of let's say moral codes, let's say kanang brotherhood pact inana, friendship? How can we expect them to uphold that when even sa international law, which is supposed to be an understanding between all nations, dili nila gina-uphold?
You know,
and the US is also guilty of foregoing international law whenever convenient para sa ilaha. But it's the case that both of them are doing it, but one of them is currently practically trying to take away something that's ours. So, kana lang jud, like I would say nga sa kaninga scenario, it's kind of hard to remain neutral when it feels like they're forcing our hand.
Yeah. Well, we can try to always fight to gain it back. Like fight in a way that we don't have to kill each other.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
We can just assert our rights, no?
True.
But
I would say gani nga. I still remember some people brought this up when the issue was really getting really heated mga 2019 was to, or like mga 2020, something like that.
Yeah.
Kaya, I can remember people were pointing out how ang atong mga silingan diri sa ASEAN, ang smaller countries as well, nga ginabuli pud sa China, where it's not just ang Pilipinas that China's trying to claim certain territories. Sa ilang gihatag nga unsa to? 9-dash line. Kay there were other territories as well sa mga silingan nato in Southeast Asia nga murag nasakop pud nila. And there were a lot of countries that they were fighting back. They were trying to fighting back by asserting their right to that territory. So ang ilang gibuhat is kabalo man jud sila nga China does not want to be the one to start the conflict. Naghuwat jud sila nga somebody else will make a mistake para makaingon sila nga you hit us, we have to hit you. Mo nang gihuwat nila. That's why they're trying to be as aggressive as they can be. Pero they want somebody else to make the first step. So, pero ang importante lang jud is that we will not stop asserting our right to the territory. Mo nang I commend jud ko sa atong mga Coast Guard nga even though mas dako silang mga barko and they're getting hosed by water cannons and all that, nagpadayon kay sila, they're right there
Yeah.
They're staying there and they're really trying to assert our right to the territory.
Good. But we can be also more amiable.
Amenable.
Amiable.
Amiable.
Amiable. Not amenable. Amiable. Okay, when you're amiable, manggod, you can actually win people's hearts. Diba?
Hopefully.
Oh, kaya ano manggod ni kanang akong nakita gyud sa mga when we deal with the Chinese. Amiable means you're being friendly.
Mm-hmm.
In a pleasant way.
Yeah.
And if you smile, smiling is very contagious. Something I know that's something that we don't get when you're with people nga pikot mata. you get the poker face. You don't really see a lot of amiability in that aspect. But one thing that I am sure of is relationships matter.
True.
So no matter if we are fighting for our territory, but we are having a good relation with them. But the way I see it now, if we go ride on some of the mongerers and the way these intelligent people are insinuating our minds and our thoughts, and as a people and as enforcers, you're talking about the military, you're talking about coast guards. Same thing, good nga. How you train your dog.
Mm-hmm.
If you train your dog to bite, they will bite. If you train your dog to be obedient and calm-natured, and you reward them by that, it's about training. It's about upbringing. A lot of our upbringing now has been totally wrecked, man, because of our over-assimilation.
Mm-hmm.
And the cause for that is, of course, a lot of our liberty. No? Kanang nawa ang ato ang saktong pagpadagan sa balaod, nawa ang ato ang saktong pag-allocate sa atong funds. It's all there. Discipline is what's affected, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Bay, no? Mo nang ato ang pag kaning atong pagsipya, it has to do a lot with education as well. No? Mo ning atong mahatag madalit ron sa atang mga kaigsunan and our listeners here at TMC. We really need to be kanang anang word of awareness is actually just a word, but it's actually a practice that we can actually take every single time, every single moment of our lives.
Yeah.
Right? So, kaning ato ang situation, nabot na sangit. Ikapilam ta na ni mo rap, something.
First, more or less a first story pa ta.
First story pa ba nimo? I think it's the second one. I think you were talking about the US and then
Yeah. We I guess.
The dispute in China.
Connected siya kay.
Connected siya.
Kay I was concerned lang we would be dragged into a global conflict. And then na-concern ko kay the technology that's in the market now sa kaning mga military equipment and all that. It's really brand new. And what ta kay bao, like we really won't know what we're getting into. And mo nang concern ako nga madrag ta into dako nga conflict ba, and I really
That's true. So what are we supposed to do since we are seeing conflict impending? Same thing as the landfill that's about to collapse.
It already did collapse.
Exactly. Now that we catch that with our attention is being taken, nakuha ang atong attention ani, then we have a lot of space, a lot of time to do the things that we have to do nga sakto.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to converse right now in the open ba.
Yeah.
A lot of things that we're not even getting. Minaw bitaw ko ko ganan minaw pero kana bitong kabantay gyud ko ba saan ginig direction mo one way street. Ay di man ko kinanglan one way street tanan. Napatay two way, napatay U-turn, napatay daghan kayong rotunda.
Tinuod.
By the way, kusog tag rotunda ha, atong mindset we are very unsay na kanito sa rotunda. You may come from different points or different lanes. Then you merge and then you go to the lane that you're gonna go.
Yeah.
That's actually a very good mindset to come and think of. Kanang rotonda system na to. In fact, that could have alleviated that could have minimized congestion in our roads. It's another topic that we're gonna have to discuss. Ato nang hisgutan.
Next week.
Sunod na. Ato nang hisgutan kay murag wa nagi padulungan ning ato ang daan ya daghan kitag kanang daghan mo gutag mga amigo nga He's good. Nagbili ni Jiggy yung relo. Iyan, relo mo ha?
Kana murag gihatag ni Jiggy pero iya pod kan
Sige, hatag.
ambot kasi naghatag ni Jiggy pero
Asa na?
murag nabili niya dire.
Nabilin. I thought, nabilin lagi.
Nabili na
Smartwatch, no?
Yeah, it's some kind of smartwatch.
Some kind of, the smartwatch now, by the way, again, sorry, I'm not promoting China, man, but it's just the reality. You can
everything,
get
everything is made in China.
You can get your phone now, Raf,
on your watch.
on your freaking watch.
Yeah.
Boy, makatubag na ka, makarecord na kag video.
Lagi.
So much. Ay,
Makaibong gani ko na some people have a smartwatch and then they have a smartphone. It's like, you could just get one of those.
mo na. Like, ako kung ako lang, I could get ang usa lang gid mo challenge na karon panahon na unsa gid ka durable nang naa. Kanang nasa kanang gagmay kay gagmay man na nya. Noon naman yung kaning example, Huawei, Xiaomi, mga lig-on gini. China malagikan. So karon, noon na sila lig-on, pwede ta mo scale into smaller. Pero wa pa na gitest pa man na ron. Pero kita ko na available na sa inyo mga online shopping ha. By the way, you can order online na ana.
Ana pa da.
Magag na kay camera, na kay cellphone, makabasa ka, maka-message ka. Then napay monitoring of health nimo and stuff like that. I know na naanay mga detrimental effects, long-term studies na on the way. Pero I'm telling you, man.
Being developed pa.
Kay ang convenience karon ba?
Super.
Nagkamay na kay imagine di na ka mas natchan siguro kung pirahon yun na morelo natchan ka. So what you could bring now,
Chapa ni mong kamot para
chapo ni mga kamot. Lisod po ni tangtangon, di ni basta kani ganani di mga nadi mo ni sensayo og tangtang. So ako mo-suggest no. Ako lang nakita is that okay, na kay tablet and then na kay smartwatch. So sa tablet nimo, you can do a lot of stuff on the kaning naman ay mobile anya na siya kaning desktop. Sa tablet mo ram siya hybrid sa desktop mobile no. So you're actually particularly mobile. I'm not saying you don't bring your laptop, but it's like a laptop and then this. Or kung ganahan jud kag kanang kuan jud ka analog jud ka, you can go back to the keypad.
Yeah.
Pwede ka mas distract, but then you have the tablet or the laptop kay portable siya nga. If you need to do your work, di mo sa pwede trabaho.
Yeah.
So option na ni siya if you want katong kuan. I'm just opening my mind sa wow, grabe. I'm planning to take may tag 3,000 ra kapin may.
Ang
Online 3,000 kapin tong akong giingon nimo smartwatch nga na ay. 3,000 lagi mo tong ngayon ko ba 3,000 nga na kay imuhang gateway to be like basa kag message to bagag telepono pak. Hello? Tama. I can answer calls here.
Yeah.
Katubag og telepono diri may.
Lagi.
Ang tawag ba? So, ang ako po nakita na is kinsa may ganahan. Ang ako nakita is the way we distract ourselves is sige na kay ako kaning kadak-a nga nasa cellphone karon kaning naaron. Grabe pa man kayo ka-handy.
Yeah.
And at the same time, nakadaot na ni sa tong mata. To be honest with you. Kadaot na sa tong mata.
True.
So if you're ever gonna do that, why not do that here? Tablet ng ritso, at least dako ba niya? If you, kapuyon mo kag dada, di kapuyon ka? Di mo dalhon. So you're not encouraged to sit on your phone. Kaya ako, sa banyo, igsod na kog banyo, abay, dugay, yung kaya maibot. Kapot yung self.
Yeah.
Diba? So, if not, why not kanang make our lives more convenient the way it is na you can do the things that you're supposed to do. Kay kani magud naka-hamper gini siya nga magbit-bit sa cellphone. Dako biya siya. Naabot na nga topic da. But again,
yeah.
Thanks to the availability.
Yeah.
Na-appreciate na sa ato mga kwan. And then, by the way, mga electric motorcycles right now.
Yeah,
electric motorcycles right now is available. And the electric cars is affordable. Not thanks to Tesla. Tesla did it. They're the fire starter.
Yeah.
But when the technology, and he allowed it, Elon Musk allowed it.
Yeah.
Iyang gidala dito. Sundanan ninyo. Sunod sa mga intake. BYD came into the picture.
Yeah. Conman said that's another concern actually when it comes to China's trade practices sa global market. Karon they're trying to ang Europe karon is trying to push back against ang kanang Chinese electric car manufacturers kay
ano man.
What do you call this? Lisod kayo mo compete against them because heavily subsidized sila sa ilang government. That's why they're super cheap. Kay subsidized sila.
And you know what? Their villages or their states kumbaga kanang gitawag mo states or regions.
Yeah.
Per region by let's say usa ka diha puro ragid na siya kaninga parts sa sakyanan. Diha puro battery. Kani diha puro
exactly.
The way they do their economic zoning is by insurmountable technology and system.
Yeah, let's face it.
I understand.
The manufacturing powerhouse of the world right now is China.
Definitely China.
That's why put a lot of the products that come out of China, it's gonna be very cheap. Oh, napuday na si Jiggy sa atong comment section.
Naminaw ya po ka. Papag ya po ka maumanap. Sige. Unsa may ato ang kuan sa China?
Aha, niya na si Jiggy nga the global order is what is now because of what we have learned. Countries used to invade nations.
Well, that's been there for so long. Like the colonization has been there. Like we are here because of colonization.
True.
I agree with that. And kana nga we're in that topic of global kanang the global arena.
Yeah.
Ang atuan na lang gyud ani is how do we kanang I'd like to always encourage the role of a facilitator rather than become and not spectator. Spectator is actually not good, man.
Yeah.
Kita always the spectator. Nya wala mo gyud mahitabo ana. Facilitator, at least we get this part, we hear this part, and then we hear the other part, and then we try to see what works. That's a facilitator mindset.
Okay.
Right? So I would like to encourage us, mga Pinoy, kay sa kita man gud sobra ra mo kay taka laban dito. Giunsa tas mga ato mga agalon sa kaniadto. Our colonizers ba, our superiors we see.
Yeah.
And that's why we have always been inferior mindseted. Our mindset has been inferior. Mas mataparan gani kag taas ilong diha puti bay. Kabaw na ko unsay mo mauna-unaan diha. Sir.
Ay.
Oy.
Diba? Dili.
Tinuod
Dili.
Wala diha.
Ako mahuna-huna kayo. Taas ra kay ka, bro.
Mona, the warrior in you would insist di mada ay paggara-gara diri.
Oh.
So, in other words, we want to try to instead become the facilitator rather than a respondent or another collateral damage of whatever it is that's causing mayhem in around. Katong gibuhat nato sa mga kaning mga dayuhan nga nagpabadlong ri. Good for that. That's the law of the land.
Exactly.
Maabot kay mo dire noy or dong or day mga bay. Maabot kay mo dire patuo mo sa amoang balaod dire sa among yuta.
Lagi.
You follow the law of the land.
Exactly.
That's why there's no respect because when you come here, you go around and then you go to our ladies, you make them your whatever you want to do with them. Wag gyud ko kuyo na din napita. Pero kung mari mo dire, mo respect mo na yung mga elders ni mo na mo rin nawa gud na to ang elders na to, na yung mga politiko. Elder system gud sa una is now gud to mga tawa na tong datus. Hello, may gabi ninyo. Hope that you're enjoying your night here at the Skyview 360, huh? All right? Take it easy. So follow us at TMC 105.1 in Facebook. You can say hi. You can go behind me and then you can see yourself in the video. Right?
A bit to the side.
Over here. Yes.
Adjust ang cam.
Right. So, yeah. Follow us in 105.1. TMC 105.1 on Facebook. Good evening.
All right. Maayong
gabi ka ninyo. So kana it's very important that we see the horizon ba nga. Ay dako kay lapad kay horizon ba. Kabantay ka nang atong view kung naata sa syudad.
Yeah.
Nata sa dakbayan. Gamay ra kay na kay makita tag usa ka corner liko diri liko diha ibabaw nimo na building di nakakakita sa langit kay nainigaali nimo sa and so on and so forth. Change your perspective diri sa tops. Diba? Gi-promote pa na kong tops. para sa tong view diri sa tong TMC 105.1, but it's a likod bar. Look at that, man. You can never replace this with any other station, my God. I'm not saying that, this is the best station, but, this is one thing. Being here, and I've been saying that all along, being here with the background I'm seeing, wala ko naglingkod. Yeah, I was supposed to sit down over there. Naman akong migo, goodness, jiggy juice. So, I'm sitting here, but I could see the screen. Naasa likod na ko man. The view is different from the top.
Exactly.
So we should start to see the view from the top, having an eagle's eye on things, that we see the macro rather than the micro. Kana ba lahi good. Because we go up on the mountain. Why? Raf, ato kag bukid, Raf. Nganong mo hike man kag dugay, magdaog-daog mo kasi mo kagalayong kapoy-kapoy, magabarang kat-kat kag bisag mo kat-kat kag Mount Manunggal or Mount Sirao. Nganong why do people do that? Or Starbucks. Why do people do that? Why do people go on the hike? Nga kapoy kay sa uban. I'm not saying all, but
Yeah. It's
why
for the
do
view.
people that?
It's for the view.
For the view, but along the way, what do you go through?
What do you go through?
Along the way,
The journey?
the hike. What is going on the hike, man? The weather, the heat, maybe dogs barking at you, gukuron kag-iror. Okay, you go through the trail, man, diba? It's a trail.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Or maybe na Ni-aging bitin. Onya, bukuan ba yun? The famous banakon pa yun. How about that, bye? Yeah. Think about it. But you need to, may nabalik na ko, kanay banakon Ni-agi. What do? You know the nature of the banakon, man. You let it pass. Try not to go further close. I'm talking about principles here, dude. We can actually try to link it up with whatever's happening with us. So, kung mo give up ka, na.
Yeah.
You're not achieving your goal.
Yeah.
And then you go further and you further. Na, sakit na kay pamaol na.
Yeah.
Gika mo gagudulupi, good. Sabot ka babaw. And then when you're up there, mo gina akong experience as a as a trekker, my own thing. I'm not promoting any organization here. I'm talking about trekking up on the mountains, on the high top. Let's say, example, kaning sa Mount Talinis, rare and Negros Oriental, where when you go on the top, it's a 7-hour trek. Yeah, napa mi usay maglambas mi because we don't want to go through the longer trek yun. 7-hour trek nga pina-traverse yun nga. Ligis-ligis yun ang mga sagbutan ba?
Yeah.
So, it's not as easy as people think na the pictures are showing.
For sure.
Sa pictures, nindot kita na nga katakatawa ka ba? Yeah, everybody happy. But along the way, man, nagdago kag backpack ana. Right now, travel light naman da. Arang naman, lighter naman na tong stuff. But back then, when I went up there, back in the 2000s.
Dako kay itong apakoy. Dako.
My God, man.
Grabe.
Ako, apagin may mga gears. Di ba may ka-afford? We can't afford those gears, ba? Ako, backpack nga mga way. Klaro, backpack. So, that's what we went through, ba nga? And I remember that. And looking at it now, Ralph, looking at it now, the availability of mga online shopping, kaning mga malls that are selling this. And again, the way we can buy that, the producers are from that country again. So it's like, oh man. But of course, we're talking about waste kanina.
Yeah.
We can go on and talking about the way we wanna try to position ourselves nga makatabang ginato that gets us at that advantage ba.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we should learn from what happened to other countries such as the countries that have suffered, Iraq, how do I say it? Iraq, Iran, Myanmar, where else? Palestine.
A lot.
A lot of these countries suffered because of being polarized and being Tibet, no? Or Nepal, or So unless we're a super nation, unless we're a superpower, then we fight. We become warriors. We become the way we are.
Yeah. But because we're not a superpower.
And then karon nga katag-katag pa itong mindset, ang karon geographically archipelagic man ta.
Yeah.
we are very regional. Understanding our dynamics as a Filipino, we're very regional. And the way we see ourselves is that, muingon juta, adi, waraim ka. Lahim ka. Tagalog ka. Ilunggom ka.
Yeah.
At ikaw, mga, kuhan ka, iyaw nun ka. You know, the Siargao ba? Iyaw nun ka. You know, a lot of our upbringing now is that. Regional kita ba? Mobita na lisod kayo ta, i-come up as one nation. Na ako'y libro sa una sa culture without sa elementary kanang one country, one nation. We were so much encouraged to be that one country, one nation, when in fact, hello. Hi.
Good evening.
Where are you from? South Korea.
Hi.
안녕하세요. Hey. Good evening. So this is our station. It's a TMC 105.1. It's a local station here in Cebu, but we can be found online. So you can check yourselves here. You can add us up on Facebook.
Yeah, you can look at our Facebook
We will
see
page. You on Facebook.
Yeah, you can check out our Facebook page.
Enjoy
TMC
Sky 360.
105.1.
Did you go up top? Try it up top. You have a 360 view.
The stairs are over there.
The stairs are over here on the left.
Yeah.
You go up top. You go up top.
All right. Enjoy your stay.
Right.
Enjoy your stay.
Kamsahamnida. Yeah. So that's muna kanindot naman. Wan mo gud chikadura mo gud ni Rapoy.
Lagi.
Mga gwapo-gwapa niya, like TMC 105.1 para you can have a take of your mga gwapo. Hey, gwapo. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Where are you from? Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Hey, man. We are talking about our countries here, Taiwan and China. We're talking about that just now.
Yeah.
We're just talking about you guys. Is Taiwan okay right now? Yeah. Good.
That's good to know.
Yeah, you work in Taiwan, or you're studying, or you're working already? Study. Students, yeah.
Yeah.
So
right.
if you want to follow us in Facebook, it's TMC 105.1. Check us out there. We will see you. The show happening right now currently is Inato.
Yeah.
TMC 105.1.
Yeah, check us out on Facebook.
Share us
You'll
on
be able to see the
Facebook.
replay.
Yeah. Taiwan and Filipinos are related, by the way, huh? All right? Okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy. You go up top, man. They have 360 views up there. The stairs is over there. All right?
All right.
Take
Enjoy
it
your
easy,
night.
brothers.
All right.
Bye-bye. Enjoy. Is that? Here? It's a podcast type, but but it's on our Facebook and YouTube, and also TikTok. All right, are you with these young ladies? Are you together? All right, you meet these young ladies. Come on, man. Be open. Filipinos and Taiwan are very good friends. All right, you do your thing there, young man. You do your thing.
All right.
I know you know how to do your thing. Anyway, so yeah, as we are speaking, Raf, we can go on and on. Wala, naging-English naman sa ko. Kaya ito, Bisaya, biya ko diri biya.
Oy, pero listen mo, Jud, kayo, ang atong mga guests, huwag sila kasabot og Bisaya. Wala pa sila na si...
Muna akong pasabot diri sa tuwang pagsibya nga. Kung natay bisita, musab tagamay, mo shift tagamay. But most of the time, we're very, very Bisaya good actually. Kay mo man ay atong baruganan din sa pinakabisayang sibyaan sa Dakbayan. Sa TMC, the most Cebu. 105.1. Diba? The best of us. No? Anyway, kayo. So, ato ang i-wrap up siguro ni Raf. I-wrap up na to ni. Let's try to wrap it up, man. As you want to say. Well, maybe we want to say something as a parting message as we go. Okay, manihapon na tanin nyo. Nanangita na to, no?
Well, I guess, given ang atong news coverage, sa atong podcast.
We are now a news station, by the way, everybody. We want to remind you that TMC 105.1 is a news station.
Well, partly a news station.
Okay,
atong blog sa atong website where we do cover news topics.
That's right, yeah.
And I guess given ang atong coverage current, I think probably ang akong biggest takeaway, Jud, is first and foremost, as a nation, kailangan dito mo stand up for atong sovereignty and atong rights. And part of that is enforcing our laws, even against the people, who are supposedly, from countries we're friendly with. I remember one moment, sorry.
That's okay.
I remember isa ka American nga vlogger who I think I don't know if familiar ka sa term ang kanang nuisance content. So basically ang ilang ginabuhat is maggara-gara na sila bisag asa sila maabot.
Yeah.
And most of the time they're either physically or emotionally harassing people everywhere they go.
Yep.
So mo nang ginatawag nila nga nuisance content.
I see.
And one of the most notorious for it nga content creators, it was an American man.
Yep.
Nga ang iyang handle sa social media was Johnny Somali. And I don't know why, pero nisud siyang huna-huna nga it's more fun to do it abroad. So niadto siya Japan dito naggara siyag maayo.
Ay.
And tungod kay wala gipunish siya sa iyang gipangbuhat dito in Japan, which a lot of it was basically like scaring people in public transit, kana basically making kanang Hiroshima Nagasaki jokes.
What about in Hiroshima Nagasaki jokes?
He was basically saying kay Amerikano biya siya. Sige siya ingon nga, we're gonna do it again. And he was basically like doing that and blasting music sa public transit nila.
Yeah.
And tungod kay wala nila gi-enforce og maayo ang ilang mga balaod. Wala nila gi-punish siya for basically harassing citizens there. Unsay nahitabo karon, more nuisance content creators went to Japan to harass people in Japan. In Korea, may nalang gani in Korea, pag abot niya dito, gikasuhan jud siya. He's currently facing 20 plus years of jail in Korea. And currently ongoing pa ang iyang trial, iyang court hearings.
Right.
Pero I would really say nga when it comes to our sovereignty, one of the most important things is enforcing ang atong mga laws.
That's
even especially with foreigners.
Very much needed, man.
Dili sila pwede mo ingon nga ay wa may kabalaon sa balaod ninyo. Pwede rad.
No.
Wala na.
Nindot jud nga naatay nana. Yeah.
So mo nang happy kay ko with the news of katong Russian katong duha ka content creators nga gikuan jud sila gi-penalize jud sila.
Right.
Kay mo nang dapat. And I am hoping this continues as a trend within Philippine politics nga gina-uphold na to atong laws and hopefully it's done speedily. Kaya ang akong mahinumduman si Vitali, ang katong Russian American nga content creator nga naggara-gara po dito sa Manila. Anya na priso siya for like 7 months ba to?
Katong may kagawas na ron bagulang.
Katong gi-deport na karon.
Right, yeah.
Kato siya. I still don't understand ngano it took 7 months para musugod ang iyang court hearing. He had to wait 7 months for iyang court hearing, which fine by me kay dito siya natagam jud siya sa prisohan nato. But at the same time, hinay kaayo ang atong pag facilitate sa kaning mga court hearings nato.
Yeah.
And then na-realize po na ako nga that's probably the biggest reason pod ang atong flood scandal nato, corruption scandals nato.
Yeah.
Dugay kaayo ma-work through. Months. It takes months, Jude. So hopefully moving forward, mas paspas na.
That's true. So thank you, Ana, and of course, on our parting, on our wrapping up this whole Inato session for today, Adlong Danghus or Friday, which is on the January, January 23, the Michael Jordan day of the month, no?
Basketball fan man,
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes,
Players ni bay, player ni bay.
Fan and player.
Oh yeah. So kanang on our wrapping up on this Inato today, we wanna try to encourage everyone, every single one of you, kita ninyong tanan, to really be taking part in the action side. Okay, inspired na kita na ako. Honestly, I'm also involved with a lot of getting inspiration kay a lot of what we do now, and it's undeniable nga naagitay daghang online activities. In fact, sa ako apong side, wa po ko kasabot unsay akong gustong buhaton online. So mag-content creator ka dong or mag-researcher ka or unsa may imong gusto. So far right now, I don't have any except for I had some online classes. I don't have any other online trade going on. So if you are also like me, involved with our current relations, in our policies, in our involvement with the laws in the government, and then being more aware of that, we wanna try to start. Katong giingon ni Jiggy ba is either we get things done and we get actions done when either mo lagi na unfortunately naagi makalas nga kinabuhi or naay mo complain.
Yeah.
Complaining is not bad. I mean, it's not complaining even. It's about asking, or let's say putting out a query, being inquisitive, asking a question. That's something that is an art that we need to gain back a part of us. Okay? Di man sayo pangutan na. No matter, it's not that every single question is encouraged. Kaya naman po yung question because why you gonna pay attention? It's another thing. Why am I gonna pay attention? So ayun na lang. You know, if you are not paying attention, first check with those that were paying attention, or do not bother na lang asking. But if you're really keen and paying attention, then you can ask the right questions. And learning that part of the art is actually taking practice with it. Mungutaan na lang yun ka. Because there's nothing wrong with that. And for that very important part, once mangutan na ang tao, nindot kay na siya because it starts to create a wave of awareness now, and people are gonna start doing their thing, becoming part of the society. Kay karon nahimong ghosting ang mga tao ron. Kabantay ka ghosting. Spectator lagi mo tong di kay ko ganahan maminaw anang spectator, kaya ko moduwa kog COD, duwa kog Counter Strike sa una. Maiko kay ka tigok kay ka spectator na lang. Kawa gyud kay mabuhat bay. Wa kay mabuhat bisag comment nimo, wa gyud gamit. Kay you're not actively involved. You're not there anymore. Wala kay labot ba?
Lagi.
Di ba? Igduwa nimo pilde kay ka, hago ka, wa na ka. Wa na ka. Or let's say napilde ka, wa na kay labot yun. You're not part of the game.
Lagi.
So if we want to be part of the game, if we want to make an impact of the game, we want to get involved, man. We want to be either the facilitator, it's a very best position, or we want to be really part of the game in a way we're responsible, we're aware, and much as we want to expound this whole conversation, we are very thankful that you've stayed with us along the whole show sa Inato. Pasalamat mi nga naminaw mo sa among mga kahanggaw sa among pangunahuna o sa among mga nagbuto-buto nga mga nag-urus-urus nga mga gumigikan sa atong alimpatakan nganhi. Hello, maayong gabi ninyo diha.
Maayong gabi.
Bisaya ra mo sir? Taga Cebu ra mo sir? Taga Asa mo sir? Lapu-lapu! Shout out Lapu-lapu. Doon mo gamay sa camera sir, and maybe at our page at TMC. If you wanna follow us, like us, subscribe, TMC 105.1. Kamong tulo dia, sir and ma'am. You wanna check us out? And the last minute of the show, isa ni cut up, ni freeze. All right, ni freeze.
Okay, there we go.
So like and follow our page. Nasa tayo YouTube. So TMC 105.1.
Check it out. Makita rin yung replay dito.
Enjoy mo dito sa Sky 360. Napata si Babaw. Nagyo ditong 360 view. Alright, that's good. That's good. Yeah. See you soon, and maybe you can visit us next time. Pwede na ninyo mag-storya. Alright? May gabi yung tanan. And that's I think that's all for now. Akong masulti. Salamat kayo nga nagpaminaw mo hangtod dinhing bahina, dinhing dapita sa atong pagsibya. And ako si inyohang Bay Jaya, og kuyog nako si
Raf Chavez.
Og mao kini ang atong Inato nganhi sa TMC 105.1, which is
the best of us.
All right. More of na. Darap na di ay. Sus!
Naglisod ko tuplok sa mga buttons dre.
Diyos ko, Lord! May gabihin ninyo tanan. Gina-gina na sunod
Mga gabi.
simana, sunod pitlaw, mga igsoon, mga bay, mga dong, mga day.
Alright.